to join Gina Harding and also Nick Luck. First of all, we do have some early scratches and changes on today's card as the horses begin to make their way into the paddock for our first race. The changes so far on today's card: in race number 1 we have an overweight on the 16 Farja plus half a kilo over on the 16 Farja. The riders who claim in race 1 will claim their full allowance. There are no changes to races 2 and 3. Moving on to race number 4, we have a rider change in race 4. Rider Martin Harley is off all his mounts today. In race number 4, the rider of the 7, Shakespeare, will now be Gerald Avranches. Gerald Avranches will now ride the 7, Shakespeare, in race number 4. Race 5, we have a rider change on the 2, Hillside Dream. Once again, Martin Harley is off. Make the rider Jean-Pierre Guillambert. JP Guillambert will now ride the 2, Hillside Dream, in race number 5. In race 6, we have a scratch. In race 6, scratch the 8, Shaddad. Scratch the 8, Shaddad, from race number 6. There's also a rider change on the 5, Generalship. Make the rider Jean-Baptiste Hamel. Jean-Baptiste Hamel will now ride the 5, Generalship, in race number 6. And there's a rider change in race 7 on the 8 horse, Receding Waves. Make the rider Jean-Pierre Guillambert. JP Guillambert will now ride the 8, Receding Waves, in race number 7. Race 8 is clear. There are no further changes to the card today. Our first race is coming up in around about 18 minutes' time, but now it's high time that we move down into the parade ring and join Gina and Nick.
Thanks very much indeed, Mark. Yes, great to be back here at Al Rayyan in Doha for this His Highness the Emir Sword Festival, the 2018 edition. Gina, looks the best yet.
It certainly does. Competition really strong at this year's renewal. As ever, it's gaining increasing stature on the international stage. We've got 24 runners from around the globe, not only from the Great Britain, from Ireland, but an American horse this year in the big race, the Emir's Trophy, on Saturday. So it's going to be a real treat throughout the 3 days, culminating in those $2 million races.
Some of the world's best jockeys will be here as well. Frankie Dettori, Andrea Atzeni amongst them. Frankie will be riding cloud computing in that $1 million Emir's Trophy on Saturday evening. But plenty to look forward to between now and then. We've got another excellent day's racing tomorrow. The Irish Thoroughbred Marketing Cup is the feature race Friday afternoon, and looking forward to seeing some real old favourites there.
Yeah, very much so. As you say, we're going to see horses that have been competing here year in, year out, but also lots of new faces, lots of new trainers, particularly from the UK. Rafe Beckett will have a representative, Andrew Balding, Hugo Palmer as well. So really great to see lots of new faces turn up here as well.
And some of the familiar faces already in the paddock ahead of our first of 8 races here at Al Rayyan this afternoon. Jockeys just walking in, and the horses will be in the paddock very shortly indeed. We'll be taking you through them runner by runner, then getting Mark's thoughts on the horses, of course. He is our most esteemed form expert here in Qatar, and we'll be back with you very shortly indeed.
ليس مالا أو جاها، العز رؤية ثاقبة تسبق الزمن، إيمان يصمد في وجه الملمات، وطن يعتز بأهله وساكنيه، ينضح كرما وأصالة. العز أن ترى الأحلام محض واقع، وأن تتعدى التطلعات آفاق الخيال. صندوق دعم الأنشطة الاجتماعية والرياضية، دعم من عز قطر لخير شعبها.
So the horses now are in the parade ring for our first race of the afternoon. This is a purebred Arabian novice plate. This is for 4-year-olds and upwards, maidens or non-winners of 2 races. They'll be going 1,400 metres, that's 7/8 of a mile on the turf. And a reminder that for the first 2 days of this His Highness the Emir Sword Festival, the rail is out in lane 2. That means the rail is out 5 metres from the inner. In race number 1, once again a reminder, the overweight ½ a kilo over on the 16 Farja. So the horses are in the parade ring, and in a few moments' time, Nick and Gina are going to be taking a look at some of them as they walk around the paddock.
Horse number 1 then is Al Muzdaher, who will be ridden by Faleh Boughanaim. Hossein Mohammed Ashur is the trainer of this one, and this horse was a winner back in December over slightly further, 1,600 metres, so back down to 1,400, and that should indeed suit based on his recent form.
That's number 1, Al Muzdaher here, running in the Al Shakab Racing Silks. Faleh Boughanaim, local jockey, takes the ride. Here's Salim Golem's mount Deeb Al Shajar, been running on the dirt lately, been running quite respectably. He's got a little bit to find on that evidence. That's Deeb Al Shajar for Hassan Al Matwi. As we have a look at Marvin Swerland in the paddock, there's 3 Ds.
Tees is trained by Alban Demure, who we're no doubt going to be hearing lots from over the course of the next 3 days. Plenty of runners to go to war with. Jean-Baptiste Amel takes the ride on Diaz, a horse who broke his maiden over course and distance back in December and looks to have a decent chance in this contest.
Jabal Aramoun is the next horse we'll have a look at. In shot there is Faleh Boughanaim, you can see on the big screen. This is Jabal Aramoun for Zaher Mosen and Marvin Swerland. Quite an interesting recruit to Qatar, formerly fairly useful horse in France. Over distances significantly in advance of today's, however, but did win a conditions event at La Teste back in August under Julien Auger. So ought to be able to take a hand in a race like this on his Qatari debut.
Horse number 5 then is Crash Al Naif, who has had a long time off before his return to the track on the dirt last month. Will need to take another step forward from that. Carlo Fiocchi takes the ride.
And a first ride of the Emir's Sword Festival for Harry Bentley next, riding in those familiar silks of Khalifa bin Shail Al Kuwairi. Melk is the horse's name, been running on dirt of late, but a very creditable effort in the big race, the April meeting here in Doha last year. That sort of form would see him in with a chance here, so he needs the return to the green stuff to bring about the improvement.
So the jockey's preparing to get the leg up for this opening contest of the 3 days. Semwo is horse number 7 in shot, but Al Balushi, the trainer, with Stéphane Lajage on board, a horse who has had his last 2 starts on dirt, so does need to take a step forward here on this change of surface.
Now this next horse comes here off a significant break. Number 8, Anwar, in the maroon colours there with the white flags. That's Jean-Pierre Guillaumbert riding Anwar, a mare who was quite highly tried last time we saw her. Didn't disgrace herself. As I say, she comes back off a break. If she's fully wound up, she's in with a chance.
Horse number 9 is a striking grey, Dorotheus. 0 from 9 though here in Qatar. Pier Antonio Combatino takes the ride for Mohamed Khaled El Ahmed.
Another one coming off a fairly significant layoff is Yara Al Khair, number 10, attractive grey, you can see in shot there. Has won a race, and didn't really build on that last spring, and needs to come back in that sort of form again. Anas Al Sayabi takes the ride.
Now, Nice is the first runner of the meeting, horse number 11 for Julian Smart, who has plenty of horses running over the next 3 days, including in the big His Highness Emir's Sword and the Emir's Trophy on Saturday. Number 11 has a course and distance victory to his name back in December, and although slightly disappointing perhaps on handicap debut last time, that did come on the dirt, so could well represent a danger to some of the leading contenders here.
And the final few filing out, there's Ostura Dukan, who is a maiden after 21 starts and oughtn't to be breaking her duck this evening, and she's not particularly well drawn either.
Number 13, the mare is Radwa. That one for the Zuhair Mohsen, Zuhair Maki for the Ahmad start, and just follows out behind Ostora Darkin. Radwa, horse number 13.
And behind that one is 14, Bark Al-Shajar, who's just had the 4 starts, so he's got relatively few convictions, but he hasn't shown too much ability of late. He's back on the turf today after a fairly well-beaten 4th on dirt last time. Rashid Al-Mari, a local jockey, is claiming an important allowance here. And the other 2 are Dijla Zakia and Faja, who is putting up that little bit of overweight, as Mark told you a few moments ago. But there are the runners heading down to post. And I'll be interested to hear your thoughts, Mark, on which of these you think might come out on top this afternoon.
Interesting race to start off the afternoon, and a very, very good opportunity for Melk to get Jazim Ghazali and Harry Bentley off to a winning start at the meeting. Melk has been done no favours by the post position draw, breaking from gate 14, but it is a long run at least to the turn out of the back straight. But Melk brings in back class. We talk about back class in all aspects of racing, Nick, and particularly in races like this, effectively a non-winners of 2 race. Melk's a winner already over a mile, so there's no real dangers about the distance for this horse. Several of the others in the race have probably struggled once they've been stepped up from sprint distances to try and go a mile, and 7 furlongs may also take them out of their comfort zone. But Melk's got an outstanding piece of form last year. He was second in His Highness the Silver Sword. That form would certainly be good enough to win a race like this, so Melk would be the one I think we're most looking forward to. There are a couple of others that you mentioned, including Jabal Aramoun, number 4. You're mentioning, while they were in the paddock, that this mount of Marvin Surland brings in some form from France, a winner at La Teste over 1,600 metres. He's the only horse in this race who's making his Qatar debut today. He's drawn 5, so he's got a good post position draw, although this would be the fastest ground he's ever encountered before in his career. He represents Zuhair Maki, and as we mentioned earlier on, Marvin Surland will be aboard. They would be probably the 2 who would be on the top of my particular list in a race like this, and probably of the others, probably another one not drawn terribly well. Number 1, Al Muzdaher, who represents Al Shakab Racing. Fala Buchenheim breaking from stall 15, again done no favours with the draw, but this is a horse who brings in recency of form, having won over a mile here in December. I think the way I'd be looking here is probably the 6 Melk, probably to beat the likes of the 4 and 1. The runners out have arrived out at the starting point very shortly. It'll be post time. At the start, one of the runners was dismounted. That was the mare, number 8, Anwar, but rider Jean-Pierre Guillaumbert is now back aboard. They're at the post for race 1. So runners now circling behind the starting gate. Very shortly they'll begin the load for this 1400 metres, maidens and non-winners of 2 race. Long run to the first and only turn, which they take just before halfway. A couple of the major players here will be drawn to the outside of the gate. Milk, Harry Bentley coming out of gate 14, Al Muzdaher out of gate 15. Here's Milk walking towards us now, the white and blue colours with Harry Bentley aboard, the horse who finished second in His Highness the Emir's Silver Sword last year. And now it's post time and the runners are loading the gate. Qatar debutant Jabal Ar-Ramoon moving in.
3689. 3689.
So the runners loading up into the starting gate. About half the field now loaded. Bright orange colours of Astora Dukan bidding to break the maiden at the 22nd attempt. Already into gate 11. Next door into 10 goes Radwa, another of the maidens in the field. Bark Al Shajar goes into stall 9 in the centre. Still waiting on the likes of Crash Al Naif, who was a winner on the dirt here, but way back in 2015, Carlo Fiocchi will have the ride. Into the 8 gate goes the once raced maiden Faja. Last one's moving forward. They're in the gate, and they're off to a very even beginning. Milk broke alertly. Faja towards the middle was also fast away. Right on the inside, Anwar is flashing early speed. It will be Anwar who leads towards the inside from gate 1. They're now being pressed by Dorotheus, and towards their outside is Al Mudazahir. They race through the first 250, and it is Anwar and Jean-Pierre Guillaumbert to the inside who now have the lead. Deeb Al Sajjar is breathing down his neck, racing in second. Al Muzdaher is in third. A break of 2 lengths to fourth. Milk racing towards the outside with Dijla Zakia towards the inner. Dorotheus between horses. Anis making the turn in 7th place. On the inside is Crash Al Nath, who's racing in 8th position. Jabal Ar-Ramoon is making ground towards the outside as they race on through the halfway point. Yara Al-Khair is one of those who's towards the rear of the field in what is now a well strung out field, and they're making the run inside the final 400. Towards the outside is Al Muzdaher, towards the inside Anwar, and these have now pulled 8 lengths clear of Milk, who's staying on but only at the 1 pace. To the inside, Deeb Al Shajar. They race down inside the final 250. On the inside, Anwar. To the outside, Al Muzdaher, and it's Fala Bugenheim and Al Muzdaher who now go clear, crossing to the far side rail. But a winner for Al Shikab Racing, it will be Al Muzdaher who wins. In second came Anwar. Staying on in third was Dees from a long way back, and these were followed home by Faja, who put in late headway. Towards the inside came a disappointing Milk. An official winner of race 1, number 1 Al Muzdaher, trained by Hossein Ashur and ridden by Fala Bugenheim in the colours of Al Shikab Racing. An official winner of race 1, horse 1 Al Muzdaher, run time 1:32.29 seconds. The closing stages in a race that developed very much into a battle between just 2 horses, and it was Al Muzdaher who claimed the long-time leader Anwar, who made good use of her inside post, and she's held on for a clear second. An official result is 1, 8, 3, and back in fourth, 6. 1, 8, 3, and 6 unofficial.
Well, what a terrific start to this Emir Sword Festival. Now, Fale Guggenheim has just taken the tack off Al Muzdahir. I was saying what a terrific start it was. It was a wonderful finish and a great performance from Al Muzdahir, but it just looks as though he's significantly uncomfortable coming back in. Notably lame Al Muzdahir. I'm just hoping that he will ultimately be okay. Concerning moments for his trainer Hossein Mohammed Ashur. And he'll be taken back to the stables and given a full veterinary check, I'm sure. It was a sparkling performance from him. And excellent to see him come back to form over this shorter distance. It was a good battle with Anwar. She ran particularly well. But as I say, I just hope that isn't anything too serious.
Yeah, looks a little bit nasty there, a little bit tentative heading back to the stables, but he'll get the best quality care and veterinary attention, no doubt, there to ensure that he can make a full recovery. But it was a thrilling finish and a good performance from Al Muzdahir, who obviously relished dropping back to this shorter trip. 1,400 meters seemed to be his bag today.
Let's just confirm that result. Al Muzdahir it was that won. Mark can perhaps fill us in with the rest of the details.
Thanks, Nick. Still waiting for race 1 to be called official. Al Muzdahir winning for the second time on his 10th career start. His win having come here over 1,600 meters on turf back in December.
اليوم التتويج اتوقع بس الشوط الثامن من بكره التتويج اتوقع.
So just to confirm, the winner of the Purebred Arabian Novice Plate #1, Al Muzdahir, for Fale Guggenheim and Hossein Mohammed Ashur. And the runner-up is Anwar, number 8. Number 8, Anwar. And the trainer, Hossein Mohammed Ashur, is here, and Gina...
Race 1 is now official.
Going to have
Result
a quick
of
word
race 1, first and 1, Al Muzdahir.
Congratulations, great start to the meeting. You must be delighted with that performance.
Thank you.
Third, number 3,
I'm very happy
Dees.
about
Fourth was number 6, Milk. And the fifth horse, number 16, Faja, 1, 8, 3 and 6 in a run time of 1:32.29 seconds. Race 1 now official.
إذا أيها السيدات والسادة، الانطلاقة الأولى لبطولة السابق سيف سمو الأمير حفظه الله ورعاه. المرحلة الأولى راح تكون بين عبد العزيز جابر ضرمان ومحمد عبد الله راشد قرح. الجواد البتيل وشجاع. إذن الانطلاقة الأولى يا السيدات والسادة، شوف الانطلاقة. إذن متابعينا الأعزاء، مشاهدينا الكرام، بطولة السابق في مجريات سيف سيدي سمو الأمير حفظه الله ورعاه. الانطلاقة الأولى عبد العزيز جابر ضرمان ومحمد عبد الله راشد قرح. الصدارة والمركز الأول للبتيل، في انطلاقة قوية البتيل مع عبد العزيز ضرمان في المركز الأول. المحاولة من الجهة الداخلية لشجاع، ولكن المركز الأول والصدارة تذهب لبتيل. فعلا تهانينا والف مبروك. راح نشوف هنا الانطلاقة الثانية والفريق الثاني. الفريق الثاني مع علي خالد المسلم وعبيد حامد المري. إذا الانطلاقة الثانية علي خالد المسلم وعبيد المري. عبيد مع تومان وعلي المسلم مع سنجار الخالدية. راح يشوف انطلاقة الفريق الثاني الآن من بطولة السابق المرحلة الأولى سيف سيدي سمو الأمير. عندنا جهات كثيرة مشاركة، عندنا 24 مشاركة في بطولة السابق. شوف الانطلاقة. المرحلة الأولى الفريق الثاني. إذن انطلاقة المرحلة الأولى الفريق الثاني يا السيدات والسادة، علي خالد المسلم مع سنجار الخالدية وعبيد المري مع تومان. الصدارة يبدو لي انها مع علي المسلم على الصدارة وعلى المركز الأول، تومان في المركز الثاني، الجواد الأشقر من ناحية السياج، ولكن المسلم على الصدارة مع سنجار الخالدية بكل أريحية. المحاولة من الجهة الداخلية مع عبيد المري، ولكن المسلم علي المسلم مع سنجار الخالدية إلى المرحلة الثانية. إذن تأهلين حتى الآن. الانطلاقة الثالثة صفقة والمزدلف، محمد عبد الله جمعة ومبارك الدوسري. الصدارة الآن والمركز على المركز الأول، وتعقد صفقة رائعة في المرحلة الأولى، صفقة محمد عبد الله الشامسي إلى المرحلة الثانية. الانطلاقة الرابعة والفريق الرابع، الشيخ عبد الله بن مشعل الثاني مع منجم ومحمد غانم الدوسري مع تجارب. الانطلاقة إذن أيها السيدات والسادة، منجم الشيخ عبد الله بن مشعل بن حمد الثاني، والمحاولة من الجهة الخارجية لمحمد غانم دايل الدوسري مع تجارب من الجهة الخارجية الجواد الأحمر، ولكن الصدارة مع الجواد الأشقر اللي هو منجم مع الشيخ عبد الله بن مشعل بن حمد الثاني على الصدارة وإلى المركز أو إلى المرحلة الثانية. إذن الانطلاقات الآن، شهدنا 4 انطلاقات في هذه الأمسية. انتهينا من أول أشواط، شوط الخيل العربية الأصيلة فاز فيه الجواد المزدهر للشقب ريسنج، ونستكمل مجريات هذه الأمسية مع بطولة السابق ضمن مهرجان سيف سيدي سمو الأمير. الانطلاقة راح تكون بالتأكيد مع الفريق الخامس بعد قليل، مع زايد الخيارين وسالم الفهيدة، العيار وانتشار. سالم الفهيدة نشوفه مع العيار إلى بوابات الانطلاق، وزايد الخيارين، زايد بن محمد الخيارين مع انتشار من الجهة الداخلية. إذن شوف الانطلاقة والمحاولة، محاولة دخول الجواد رقم 3. انتشار إلى البوابة وانطلاقة الفريق الخامس. إذن الفريق الخامس ينطلق الآن أيها المتابعون الكرام. انتشار مع زايد بن محمد الخيارين وسالم الفهيدة مع الجواد اللي هو العيار من الجهة الخارجية اللي هو الجواد الأزرق في محاولة قوية على المركز الأول. ثانيا عندنا اللي هو زايد الخيارين مع انتشار، ولكن الصدارة لا تزال مع العيار وسالم الفهيدة. المحاولات القوية من الجهة الداخلية ولكن المنافسة تشتد، والصدارة والمركز الأول إلى سالم الفهيدة والعيار إلى المرحلة الثانية. راح ننطلق بعد قليل إلى الفريق السادس. 5 فرق انتهت حتى الآن.
We come to the presentation then for the first race of this 3-day His Highness Emir's Sword Festival. It was a purebred Arabian novice plate. And we're delighted to welcome our Japanese representatives, Mr. Sakoshi Hiramatsu for Kiba Book, who will be making the trophy presentation, starting with our winning jockey, Fale Bugenheim. And our congratulations also extended to the winning trainer, Hossein Mohamed Ashur. And finally, it's a first winner of the 3 days in the Al Shakab Racing colours. No doubt there'll be plenty more of those over the next 3 days. And their representative is Sean Johns. So our congratulations to the winner of race 1, horse number 1, Al Muzdaher.
إذن أيها المتابعون الكرام، بعد انتهاء مراسم التتويج الشوط الأول من هذه الأمسية، نستكمل معكم مجريات بطولة السابق مع الفريق السادس. علي حمد المري وحمد سعد النابت، علي الصعاق وحمد النابت في انطلاقة الفريق السادس. إذا نشاهد الآن الانطلاقة مع الفريق السادس، علي حمد الصعاق وحمد سعد النابت. علي الصعاق مع غزال الزعيم وحمد النابت مع منيف. علي هو اللي داخل حاليا إلى بوابات الانطلاق على الجواد الأحمر، ومن الجهة الخارجية الجواد الأزرق منيف. الجهات جاهزة. إذن الانطلاق أيها المتابعون الكرام، أيها السيدات والسادة. الفريق السادس علي حمد الصعاق وحمد سعد النابت، غزال الزعيم ومنيف. شوف الانطلاقة والصدارة الآن لا تزال مع رقم 55 يبدو لي، أو حمد النابت على الصدارة مع منيف. الجهة الخارجية عندنا علي الصعاق مع غزال الزعيم في محاولة قوية من الجهة الخارجية، ولكن الصدارة مع منيف. إذن منيف مع حمد النابت على المركز الأول وإلى المرحلة القادمة. علي الصعاق ومنيف، أو علي الصعاق وغزال الزعيم خارج الحسبة، وعندنا منيف مع حمد النابت إلى المرحلة القادمة. ننتقل الآن إلى الفريق السابع، راشد المري مع عبد الله المعاضيد. العريق، هنا العريق أحد أقوى جياد المسيلة، أقوى الجياد اللي ركضت سباقات المسيلة في الدوحة. هذا الجواد اللي يهدد، هذا الجواد المرشح، أحد الجياد المرشحة للفوز والظفر بهذه الجائزة، بطولة السابق مع عبد الله المعاضيد، سبق وأن فاز بهذا السباق. العريق مع عبد الله المعاضيد وراشد المري مع سهيل العريق. العريق وسهيل العريق، راشد المري وعبد الله المعاضيد. نتمنى السلامة والتوفيق لجميع المشاركين. إذن الانطلاقة انطلاقة عبد الله المعاضيد الحالة. إذن عبد الله المعاضيد إلى المرحلة القادمة مع العريق. الانطلاقة القادمة الآن مع الفريق الثامن. الفريق الثامن الآن هو مسفر المري مع غنيمة، غانم المعاضيد مع المسترسل. مسترسل جواد الأشقر من الجهة الخارجية، وعندنا مسفر المري مع غنيمة. إذا الانطلاق أيها السيدات والسادة متابعينا مشاهدينا الكرام، الفريق الثامن ينطلق الآن، غانم المعاضيد مع المسترسل ومسفر المري مع غنيمة من الجهة الخارجية. عندنا غنيمة على المركز الثاني والصدارة والمركز الأول مع الجواد الأشقر. المسترسل مع غانم المعاضيد على المركز الأول، وبكل أريحية يسترسل في الفوز في هذا غانم المعاضيد. متأهل.
So we move on to our second race this evening, ladies and gents. It's the local thoroughbred handicap over 2,000 meters, so an entire circuit of the track here. And we've got a decent field assembled as well. a full field. We're just waiting for one or two to enter the paddock. You can see there, number 6, Damzar, is just trotting her way down the side of the racecourse. At the moment, we'll start with number 1, Haydara, ridden by Al-Mutsam Al-Balushi. Slightly outclassed last time in truth, but back in this sort of grade, ought to be more at home. That said, slightly younger, more progressive rivals to take on, so still needs considerably better than what he's been achieving recently.
So horse number 2 is Monteza, with Adam Hauer in the saddle, a horse who's been down the field on his last couple of starts, so does need to take a step forward here, but a step up in trip as well, which could bring out a little bit of improvement.
And quite a few of these have been quite highly tried and are coming back in class. Another one of those is Saar, but Saar has stall 16 to contend with, which will not be straightforward over this distance.
Horse number 4 then is Al Jamaher from Mubarak Mohammed Al Khairin for the Injaz stud. And another that's stepping up in trip here and could do better, stepping back onto the turf, having run over dirt last time.
The next one we'll be able to take a look at is number 5, Samad Bouthela. And great to see Olivier Pellier here once again with us in Doha. World-class rider who's enjoyed so much success here with big race rides this weekend as well. And he takes this one back onto the turf after a couple of spins on the dirt that have yielded reasonable fruit, a third and a victory.
There's horse number 7 in shot. That is Sandan for Pier Antonio Convertino and Abdullah Sultan Ahmed Al Jaber, horse who won on the dirt last time. So stepping back onto the turf and into a handicap today, so needs to take another step forward, but certainly in good form.
And the brighter of the greys here, that's number 8 in those familiar Al-Khawari colours. That's Abu Samra, Jean-Pierre Guillaume taking them out. Harry Bentley otherwise engaged on Al Jama here. Might that be a clue in itself, or could this be a winner for JP, who's an important part of the team?
Horse number 9 then, the familiar face of Gérald Avranches, who's had plenty of success out here in Qatar. Stefano Ibido is the trainer. Sultan Boutaila, horse number 9, the horse in shot. A horse who ran second last time and certainly comes into this race in really good form.
10 is Al Ayar. Theo Bachelot has made a significant impression here in Qatar this winter, and he's taking this ride for Rashid bin Mubarak Al Jafali Al Naimi.
Horse number 11 then, who we should see as the runners file out onto the track, is Saab Al Manal for Jassim Ghazali.
Pedigree by Khalif, where the 2,000 metres will be up his street.
And as they file out, we've got number 13, Queen Maua, who will be ridden by Rashid Al-Mari, Abdullah Aziz Hamad Al-Mari, and that's the red colours heading out there with the white cross belt. Number 14, Majwan, 15, Ghazwa, Kelly Harrison in the plate for Mohammed Salim Ashur, winner of our first race here, looking for a quick fire double.
And 16 is Hamar. That completes the field of 16. The reserves do not get a run here, 17 and 18. Full field of 16 for our second race, the local thoroughbred handicap. And be interesting to see how this pans out. Big field here, Mark, 2,000 metres. Wide draw is going to be a significant inconvenience, I would have thought.
So the runners will very shortly be arriving at the starting point for race number 2. This is a local thoroughbred handicap running 2,000 metres, a mile and a quarter on the turf. It's a race for local thoroughbreds who are rated 85 or below. And in this race we have a field of 16, a maximum field as Nick, I'm sure, mentioned a few moments ago the also eligibles, reserves of Scratch the 17, Scratch the 18. We do have several overweights in this race. Horse number 9 plus 3 kilos. Horse number 10 plus 2.5. Horse 11 plus 3. Horse 12 plus half a kilo. The 14 horse plus 4 kilos. The 15 plus 2.5, and the 16 plus 4. Please note that the rider on the 13 does claim his full 5 kg allowance. There are no further changes, a field of 16, and very shortly they'll be arriving at the 2,000 metre start, which is in the home straight. And they race right about 150 metres before they come up towards us, nearly 200 metres in fact, before they come up past us and have a circuit ahead of them. So runners arriving down at the starting point. Fortunately, I'm just having a few problems hearing Nick and Gina at the moment, so I'm not sure what they went through with regard to the form, but a couple of things to watch out for here. Number 6, Damsar, who went to post early. She's running in her first ever handicap today. She's already a dirt winner. She won here over 1,200 on the dirt, but she's got some back class here coming into this first time handicap. She was second in the 1,600 local Oaks here in December at the big Derby meeting. She should love this quick ground today. She's got a very, very strong fast turf pedigree. She's by Giaponti out of a mare called Kitten Love, and therefore she should well give Eddie Pedrosa a very good spin here, trained by Ibrahim Al-Malki. That's the 6, Damsar. She was the one who was led to post a long way ahead of the others, and not a bad post position either of gate number 7 for her. Number 4, Al Jamahir, represents Harry Bentley and Mubarak Al Kayarin. Al Jamahir, one of the most prolific winners in the field, a 4 times winner here at Al Rayyan, twice on the turf and twice on the dirt. Al Jamahir breaking from post position number 4. And this is his first try over 2,000 metres, and that is the key to watching this race. We may have quite a number of horses who struggle to get home here over the distance, because despite this being a maximum field of 16, there are quite not that many racers written here in Qatar over 2,000 metres, and indeed only one of the runners in this race has ever tried this distance of ground before, and that is the horse drawn towards the outside, number 1, Haydara, with Al-Motasem Al-Balushi aboard. Twice a course winner, the most recent being way back in 2014, but he at least has run over this distance. Didn't cut a great deal of ice, finished midfield that day, but all the other 15 in this race are running over this distance for the first time. There's the butterfly, Olivier Pellier on Samad Boutela. Twice a winner here in Qatar, but both those wins coming on dirt. Samad Al-Boutela will be breaking from post position 8 this afternoon as the runners move into line. Already over half the field loaded. Nearest to the camera car there is number 8, Abu Samra, another first-time handicap debutant, still a maiden. One of the last ones to move in will be Majwan, another one running in a handicap for the first time today with Anas Al-Siyabi. The last ones moving into line will be Majwan, I should say. That's it. Field of 16 in the gate. And they're off. Squeezed up at the start towards the outside was Al-Ayar, and pushed along in the early stages is Saab Al-Manal. a charge on as they come down towards the turn. Olivier Pellier and Sarmad Boutela are prominent, with Sar, the light blue, towards the outside, and these will be the first two as they go towards the turn. So it's on the inside, Sarmad Boutela, who has claimed the lead. Sar is racing in second. Abu Samra is the first of the greys in third. Sandan is out a little wider in fourth position as they head towards the back stretch. Then Haydara, who's trying to work to get in towards the inside, is Shatia Boutela, followed by Queen Moya around the outside as they head into the back straight. And Pellier's trying to stack them up here. Sarmad Boutela with Pellier now dabbing on the brake pedal as they go inside the final 1100. Sar is racing in second. Towards the inside, Abu Samra is in third as they head down the back stretch. At Sandan, the second of the greys, is racing in fourth position. Pushing up to the inside is Shatia Boutela, and that one's on the heels of Hamar as they go now inside the final 700. Sarmad Boutela has the lead. Sar's racing in second. Abu Samra is in third, and Sandan is in fourth. Monteza with the light yellow blinkers making ground around the outside of Hamar as they race now on towards the home straight. Those that are struggling towards the rear of the field include Gazwa. Also towards the rear is Al Ayar as they make the turn in. They race on inside the final 400, and it's at this point that Pellier kicks, and it's Sarmad Boutela who goes for home. Abu Samra giving chase in second. From a long way back, Al Jamira is staying on in third. Monteza is in fourth. The others are well and truly strung out, but inside the final 100, this has been a beautiful ride by the Butterfly. Pellier's in front of Sarmad Boutela and will hold on to win. Sarmad Boutela, and he played with them like a yo-yo. In second was Al Jamar here, followed home on the outside by Monteza and on the inside by Abu Samra. Unofficial winner of race 2, first number 5, Sarmad Boutela, trained by Mohamed Khaled Al-Ahmed, ridden by Olivier Pellier. Sarmad Boutela, an official winner and recording a third win here in Qatar, having scored twice on the dirt. So the winner, first number 5, Sarmad Boutela, second number 4, Al Jamahir, third number 8, Abu Samra, fourth number 2, Monteza. It's going to be very tight for fifth. The staying on Gazwa on the inside, with staying on late. There's the close-up of the Butterfly in full flight on Sarmad Boutela, and this may be a 24-race, 3-day meeting. It's unlikely we'll see a better ride than that all weekend. A brilliant front-running ride by Pellier. An official run time 2:07.8, 2:07 and 4/5.
Well, we said before the race it was terrific to see Olivier Pellier here again in Doha. World-class rider and showing his class there aboard Sarmad Boutela, one of 2 in the race representing these connections, but coming out firmly on top. And it was a fine exhibition of pace judgment from Pellier, as Mark talked you through in the call, and picked this one up just as they went down the back. He said that he just dabbed on the brake pedal, and that indeed was the case. Had enough in hand to foil the late charge of Al Jamah here and Harry Bentley. And victory for this gelding by Soviet Secret, who is now a 3-time winner and one of the less exposed horses in the field, and seems to act equally well on the turf on today's evidence as he has been on the dirt track of late. And a resounding performance. In a moment, Genie will catch up with the winning connections, but first of all, here's Mark with the result.
Race 2's now official. First number 5, Sarmad Boutela, Second, number 4, Al Jamahir. Third was number 8, Abu Samra. Fourth, number 2, Monteza. The fifth horse was number 15, Gazwa. 5, 4, 8 and 2, run time 2:07.8. Race 2 is now official.
راح نشوف الانطلاقة بعد قليل. إذا الانطلاق أيها السيدات والسادة متابعينا مشاهدينا الكرام، الشوط الثاني من مهرجان سيدي سمو الأمير للخيل المهجنة الأصيلة، الإنتاج محلي، تكافؤ من 85 وأقل، انطلاقة 2000 متر. ينطلق في هذا الشوط عدد 16 من الجياد القوية تتنافس على جائزة وقدرها 30,000 دولار. ينطلق الآن على المركز الأول وعلى الصدارة سرمد بثيلة لسطحية عوض إبراهيم على المركز الأول رقم 5. شوف المركز الثاني، أشاهد الجواد سار لمحمد عبد الله المعضادي في ثاني المراكز. المركز الثالث يبدو لي انها بسامرة في انطلاقه قويه لخليفه مشعل الكواري مع جيبي جامبير في تقدم على ثالث المراكز. رابعا عندنا سندان لاحمد سلطان الجابر مع بيير كونفرتينو. خامسا شعار جاسم البادي في تقدم الان، وعندنا فعلا مجوان في المركز الخامس مع حمد احمد الجهني في خامس المراكز. سادسا الشعار الاخضر، شوف التقدم الان مع منتصر لعلي بن سعيد النعيمي في المركز السادس. المركز السابع رقم 16 حما لناصر بن عبد الله العطيه على سادس المراكز مع الخيال القطري فالح بغنيم. عودة للمركز الأول وعودة إلى الصدارة. إلى المركز الأول رقم 5 سارمد بثيلة بانطلاقة قوية لصبحية عوض إبراهيم مع أوليفيا بيليه في اندفاع قوي فعلا. ستار في المركز الثاني محمد عبد الله المعضادي في تقدم مع ستيفا لجاج. ثالثا إذا نشاهد الآن الانطلاقة، حنشوف الانطلاقة بعد قليل. إذن أيها السيدات والسادة الانطلاقة التاسعة مع الفريق التاسع في بطولة السابق. الفريق التاسع سعيد خالد القاضي وياسر المسلم. أو إعادة عندنا يبدو لنا العريق مع عبد الله المعاضيد وراشد المري مع سهيل العريق. إعادة الفريق السابع. المحاولات الآن مع العريق و سهيل العريق، راشد المري وعبد الله المعاضيد. الفريق السابع راح ينطلق بعد لحظات أيها السيدات والسادة. الجواد المرشح العريق مع سهيل العريق، راشد المري وعبد الله المعاضيد. الانطلاق الآن. إذن أيها السيدات والسادة متابعينا مشاهدينا الكرام، انطلاقة الفريق السابع من هذه الأمسية، راشد المري وعبد الله المعاضيد. عبد الله على المركز الأول وعلى الصدارة، راشد من الجهة الداخلية مع سهيل العريق. المنافسة قوية بالفعل أيها السيدات والسادة. شوف المحاولات الآن مع فعلا عبد الله المعاضيد والعريق وراشد المري ثانيا. وعندنا ياسر المسلم مع مجد السليمي إلى الانطلاقة القادمة. إذن الانطلاقة العاشرة أيها السيدات والسادة متابعينا مشاهدينا الكرام. شوف الانطلاقة مع علي بابا، صالح المري وهيثم محمد المري. المنافسات القوية الآن بين الفريق العاشر. شوف الانطلاقة والمركز الأول مع الجواد الأشقر اللي هو علي بابا، صالح سالم المري على الصدارة وعلى المركز الأول في المنافسة العاشرة لهذه الأمسية. محمد المري ثانيا، صالح المري إلى المرحلة الثانية. عفوا الفريق التاسع تأهل منه ياسر المسلم. ياسر المسلم يتأهل من الفريق التاسع وليس العريق متأهل اوريدي. عندنا الفريق التاسع ياسر المسلم، الفريق العاشر صالح المري. الفريق الحادي عشر مع محمد تويم المري سابقة وسعود عبد اللطيف المسلماني عيون لولوة. يلا يا عيون لولوة، عيون لولوة باللون الأحمر، ومحمد تويم مع سابقة الفارس الزرقاء. هل سابقة بتسبق ولا عندنا عيون لولوة؟ إذن الانطلاق أيها السيدات والسادة. الفريق الحادي عشر سابقة مع محمد تويم المري وسعود عبد اللطيف المسلماني مع عيون لولوة. عيون لولوة في الصدارة من الجهة الخارجية، عيون لولوة نشوفها مع سعود عبد اللطيف المسلماني. الجهة الداخلية عندنا محمد المري. محمد تويم على المركز الأول، سابقة تسبق حتى الآن عيون لولوة في المركز الثاني مع سعود عبد اللطيف المسلماني. شوف المنافسة، شوف الدخول، ولكن محمد تويم المري مع سابقة تسبق في هذا الشوط وفي الفريق الحادي عشر. الفريق الثاني عشر صلاح قاسم اليافعي ويوسف محمد الهاجري. الانطلاق أيها السيدات والسادة. الفريق الثاني عشر صلاح قاسم ويوسف الهاجري. الصدارة والمركز الأول نشوفه من الجهة الداخلية، الخيال المعروف خيال السباقات يوسف الهاجري مع الفخامة على المركز الأول. الجهة الخارجية عندنا صلاح اليافعي مع AGS الجزيرة، ولكن المركز الأول والصدارة والمرحلة الثانية لمصلحة الفخامة بأسلوب فخم إلى المرحلة الثانية مع يوسف الهاجري. إذن حتى الآن 4 هدات، 4 انطلاقات، ياسر المسلم، صالح المري، محمد تويم المري، يوسف الهاجري. الانطلاقة الثالث عشر، الفريق الثالث عشر الآن. الفريق الثالث عشر عندنا اللي هو حمد عبد الله العذبة ومحمد راشد المسلم، ليدزمان ومهلهل العريق. الانطلاقة الفريق الثالث عشر أيها السيدات والسادة، حمد عبد الله العذبة، مهلهل العريق ومحمد راشد المسلم مع ليد ساندمان. الصدارة والمركز الأول نشوفه من الجهة الداخلية، يبدو لي أنها الجواد الأشقر. الجهة الخارجية حمد عبد الله العذبة مع مهلهل العريق. التغيير الآن نشاهده مع محمد راشد المسلم. شوف المحاولات، محمد راشد المسلم الآن على الصدارة. المحاولة من الجهة الداخلية مع حمد عبد الله العذبة، ولكن الصدارة والمركز الأول إلى محمد المسلم ليدي الساندمان، ونتمنى له السلامة إن شاء الله، نتمنى له السلامة إن شاء الله. أمورك طيبة، أمورك طيبة يا محمد المسلم. خلونا نشوف الفريق الرابع عشر. الفريق الرابع عشر نواف المسلم وأحمد حسين الباكر، زربلة والعارم، العارم وزربلة. من اللي راح يفوز في هذا الشوط؟
So we come to the presentation for the second race, the local thoroughbred handicap. We extend our congratulations to the connections of the winner, Samad Buthela, and we welcome to the presentation podium photojournalist from Japan, from Sportiva, Mr. Masamitsu Mishima. Mr. Mishima, very good to see you presenting the Jockey's Trophy to Olivier Pellier, the one and only. What a wonderful ride it was. Now the trainer, Mohamed Khaled Al-Hamad. Many congratulations, really progressive horse, this bay gelding by Soviet Secrets. Makes it 3 wins from 8 starts here at Al Rayyan. And finally, will you congratulate the delighted winning owner, Mrs. Sabaya Awad Ibrahim. Many congratulations, Mrs. Ibrahim. And we welcome journalists and media from across the globe here to the Emir's Sword Festival. And it's lovely to have Masamitsu here from Japan. The winner of our second race then, Samad Buthela.
إذا تهانينا والفائزين بالشوط الثاني السيدة صبحية عوض إبراهيم. نستكمل مجريات سباق المسيلة. الفريق الرابع عشر أحمد الباكر. نشوف الهدة القادمة. الفريق الخامس عشر عبد الهادي المري بيان وعبد الرحمن جمعة. عبد الرحمن حمد جمعة معها بريح. ترشيحاتي بيان، لكن هل راح يفاجئنا عبد الرحمن جمعة؟ راح نشوف الآن الانطلاقة أيها السيدات والسادة. الانطلاقة مع عبد الهادي حمد المري وعبد الرحمن حمد جمعة. الانطلاقة والمركز الأول نشاهدها ونشوف المركز الأول ونشوف الصدارة ونشوف المنافسة. يبدو لنا فعلا المركز الأول والصدارة هنا عبد الهادي المري وعبد الرحمن سعد جمعة، لكن الانطلاقة تبدو لي أنها كانت بين أحمد المهند الدوسري وفالح ناصر بغنيم. فالح بغنيم وأحمد الدوسري فعلا. عبد الهادي فعلا، عبد الهادي إلى المرحلة الثانية، أو عندنا خلينا نشوف لجنة التحكيم. هنا بيان، الحين عندنا بيان. نعم الانطلاقة اللي راح أتوقع عنها الفريق السادس عشر فالح ناصر بغنيم مع مسنون وأحمد محمد الدوسري. شوف الانطلاقة الآن وشوف التحركات مع الفريق الخامس عشر. إذن الانطلاق أيها السيدات والسادة متابعينا مشاهدينا الكرام. بيان وهبريح، عبد الرحمن سعد جمعة وعبد الهادي المري. عبد الهادي المري مع بيان بكل أريحية على الصدارة وعلى المركز الأول. المحاولات من هبريح في المركز الثاني، ولكن بيان أحد الجهات المرشحة فعلا على الصدارة وعلى المركز الأول. بيان إلى المرحلة الثانية. إذا ننتهي من هذه المراحل.
So on we move to our third race of the evening, and great to see so many more of you here, and the crowd really filling up. Beautiful evening. The cast a little while ago, but clearing up. Top one here, Al Khataf. And so that you can see, so they make a diagonal run to the bend. It's a slightly more forgiving bend, and then a decent run down the back straight. So we've had a look at number one. Here's number two, Gina.
Yeah, this is Gadab, who is trained by Alban Demir, the trainer we're going to be hearing lots of over the next 3 days. Kwan, the colours, Stéphane Lajad takes the ride, a horse who's been campaigned largely on dirt of late, switches to the turf today, and although does have that course and distance form, does need to find a little bit of improvement here.
Taslam hasn't been running all that well, but the angle here with Taslam is a move up in distance, a fairly marked move up in distance, see if that can bring about a bit of improvement. Started off his career promisingly, it hasn't really gone on of late from stall 10 with the Almari team.
Horse number 4 is one of the older contenders in the field, an 8-year-old Chanson du Soleil, a horse who won last time out on the dirt and switches onto the turf here, comes in here in good form.
And number 5 is Bashir. Front 5 here, all greys. 5 is Bashir, another one by Amma. Faleh Bouganem looking for a double for Al Shakab Racing, and Hossein Mohamed Ashur having taken the opener this evening.
The horse number 6 has an interesting profile, 5-year-old Fater, who was campaigned in Poland, a winner 3 times in that country. Olivier Pellier takes the ride and looking for a quick-fire double after his success in our last race.
Yeah, notable jockey change there, notable jockey change on the 6 Fater. 7 is Mossab for Julian Smart, Sheikh Mohammed bin Khalifa Al Thani and Pier Antonio Convertino, winner here of a maiden just before the new year, when ridden by Theo Bachelot, and a very good run in the Silver Cup last time. Should be a leading player.
Next up, we should be seeing horse number 8, Afrita. There is the grey in question, a 6-year-old mare. Salim Golem takes the ride here for Ibrahim Saeed, Ibrahim Al-Malki. And this is a horse who has been down the field of late in handicaps, but certainly knows where the winning post is overall, and could be in with a chance if she can put her best foot forward and return to some of that previous form.
Number 9 is Al Malhoufa in those familiar Qrec colours. Harry Bentley in them again, 2 from his last 3. This horse, her last 3 I should say, and she's quite versatile as well as regards distance and surface, so she'll run another big race from a good draw.
And Hadaj Dukan is horse number, but this is going to be hotter company today and onto the turf.
And number 11, you can see in the purple and gold colours, Mohammed Salim Ashur trains Al Eshra. Mark Lerner takes the ride, getting there slowly but surely, but it's a big step up in trip and a new distance today for Al Eshra. So if that works, then she's got a chance.
One of the unexposed contenders in the field who could have a real good chance here is number 12, Stellar, trained by Julian Smart. Theo Bachelot takes the ride, who's been creating a really good impression here in Qatar. And this horse steps into handicaps for the first time, looks to have an excellent chance, this filly, Stellar.
And we've got another full field here. Here's 13, Kor Al Adaid for Ahmed Kabezi and Vaclav Janacek, taking over from Pier Antonio Convertino. Be interesting to see whether this horse can translate a little bit of the best of his form to a different surface. Has done nearly all his racing on the dirt.
Now the horse heading out there in the black and white colours was Lolita de Pancher, but 15 is Fair File for JP Guillenbert and Jassim Ghazali. One of the horses who was just coming out of the paddock and getting remounted is Bint Al Fahal, horse number 14, who we'll see shortly. The jockey just getting the leg up out in the chute. Al Mutazem Al Bulushi, the jockey for Mohammed Ibrahim Qasim for Injaz Stad, and she steps onto the turf here, different set of circumstances, and there she is, jockey just got his feet out the irons, trying to keep her calm and get her safely down to post. And that completes the field. 16 runners will go to post for this Pubed Arabian handicap, and there is the 16th of them, Lolita du Pancher for Hassan Al Madwi, and a horse who will probably find today's company quite hot, but Rashid Al-Mari takes the ride. And that completes the full field of 16.
Yeah, Stella is the filly that is the most interesting here, I think, but she's quite badly drawn in stall 13. It'll take all of Thea Bachelot's guile to get her to win from that draw, but she is the one open to the most improvement. And just a reminder that Fale Bouganem is looking for a double. He's riding Bashir, and important jockey change on the 6 Fateh, Olivier Pellier, who looks for a quick fire double on this opening day of His Highness the Emir's Sword Festival. And we will hand you back up to the commentary box and Mark Johnson.
Thanks, Nick. So confirming the changes here, Fateh now ridden by Olivier Pellier. He's putting up half a kilo of overweight. The other overweights in this race, number 14, Bint Alpha Hal, plus 3.5 kilos. Number 15, Farfail, plus 3.5 kilos. Please note that the rider on the 16 claims the full 5 kg allowance. The 17 and 18, the reserves have scratched, so the main body of the field stands, 16 of them, now beginning to arrive at the 1600 metre start. Nick was mentioning a few moments ago that this is the start which is on the spur to the far left-hand side of the enclosures, just slightly out of our view here in the grandstand. They race for the best part of 200 metres before they lead the chute and make the way onto the back straight, a dogleg turn to the right, and that can often cause races to be run here over the 1600 very quick early for jockeys wanting to get a position, and then they tend to just slacken the pace a little once they hit the back straight with that long run then to the far turn. Nick was mentioning the filly Stellar, who's a very interesting runner here, a winner of her latest race over 1700 here on dirt. She's never run on turf and she's never run in a handicap before, so as Nick was mentioning there's plenty of upside to her. Thea Bachelot's had such a tremendous first season riding here in Qatar, rides for Julian Smart, and he's in the second colours of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Khalifa Al Thani, the black cap, coming from gate 13. They're the yellow silks of Al Kataf, 3 times a winner here at Al Rayyan. All his wins have come here, including a course and distance graduation plate in April of 2016. Both his runs this season have been on the dirt, so he's back onto the turf again today, and he's taking a slight grade drop too because he's been running in slightly higher handicaps. He runs here off a rating of 85, and indeed he's one of 3 joint top weights ridden by veteran Gerard Avranches. Now they're beginning to load the starting gate. There is Stellar's trainer Julian Smart in conversation. Already into stall number 6 has gone the mare Lolita Dupin-Shear. She's twice a winner on the dirt here, yet to open her account on turf. Both her wins came last year. She's coming off a 4th in a 1200 metre dirt sprint handicap. Number 2, Gadab, represents trainer Alban de Meur, colours of Khan, the maroon and white spots. And there is the trainer Alban de Meur with such a strong team here this weekend, headlined of course by Yazid, who will bid to give the trainer a record 10th victory in His Highness the Emir's Sword here as our highlight on Saturday afternoon. Loading up process now well advanced. Stall 4 has just been filled by Afrita, with Salim Golem in the saddle. Afrita, a very versatile mare. She's won 5 times, 4 times on dirt, once on turf. There's Harry Bentley aboard Al Malhoufa. Al Malhoufa might well be the class act here, even though she's down the weights. She's got the back class. She represents Jazim Ghazali. Al Malhoufa was the winner of the local Arabian Qatari Oaks over course and distance back in 2016 and won a 1200 metre dirt race here last time out.
3 and 11 together.
So the load is well advanced now. Still waiting for the likes of Taslam to go in with Eddie Pedrosa, due into gate 10. Up the bit at all as they race towards the end of the chute. Pushing up towards the inside, flashing early speed is Bint Al-Fahal. Bint Al-Fahal will try and head them off. Al-Eshrar is prominent, so too Lolita Dupanshir, with Hadaj Dukan out very wide. Another one going wide early is Far Fail as they go into the back straight. As they do so, they head down the back in a contested lead with Lolita Dupanshir between horses. On the inside, Bint Al-Fahal. Towards the outside, Hadaj Dukan. These are the first three. Chanson du Soleil is also there with the white and blue spotted headgear. On the heels, the leaders is Al-Eshrar, followed then by a pushed along Stella as they go towards the far turn. Far Fail is out very wide on the track. Towards the inside is Al-Malhufa as they go into the turn. Al-Kataf is one of those who is towards the rear of the field, and the last one out of the back is Afrita. So on the inside, Lolita Dupanshir taken on by Chanson du Soleil. Around the outside, Hadaj Dukan. These are the first three as they begin to make the turn, and the one who has completely blown the turn there was Stella. May well have just wobbled as she came off the turn. It is Hadaj Dukan in the centre who has now got the lead. Khor Al-Adai down the outside. Towards the inside, trying to pick up now is Al-Eshrar. On the inside, Gadab is also now beginning to stay on. It is just Hadaj Dukan who has the lead with Khor Al-Adai on the near side. Hadaj Dukan just held on for Thomas Lukasek for a fourth win here in Qatar. Hadaj Dukan, but it was tight on the line with Khor Al-Adai towards the near side, followed home by Al-Eshrar and the staying on Gadab. That's a photo finish. A photo finish for the win.
Well, that was a thrilling finish, Mark, as you described. First impressions from down here was that Hadaj Dukan, and we'll have to take a look at the freeze just to confirm. There are the jockeys in question. 10, the yellow silks, Hadaj Dukan, Thomas Lukasek, and the white silks, Khor Al-Adai. That's Vaclav Janacek. They're looking at one another, not quite sure. And we'll need a still on the line just to get that confirmed. Those involved in the photograph, 10 and 13.
And a few nervous moments for connections there as they wait the results of that photo. But we can have another look at it here, Nick, and it did look on the far side as if horse number 10, as mentioned, did hold the advantage, but just on the line it gets very close with the closing number 13, Khor Al-Adai, potentially doing enough on the near side here, but very, very tight.
One more stride, I think Khor Al-Adai would definitely have got there, but I'm not sure that he was there where it mattered. It's very, very close, but my impression, as I say, as they passed the line was that Hadaj Dukan had won. And fantastic scenes to accompany what's been the best finish so far. And is either jockey brave enough to enter the winner's enclosure? Not at the moment. And no confirmation of the result as yet. A reminder that those concerned are Hadaj Dukan, the bronze colours there, and the white silks, Khor Al-Adai. Well, Thomas Lukasek thinks he's...
Here is the result of the photo finish. First, number 10, Hadaj Dukan. Second, number 13, Khor Al-Adai. Run time 1:48.17 seconds.
The winning jockey, Thomas Lukasek, they took the decision to come into the winner's enclosure, and they were right, because horse number 10, Hadaj Dukan, called the official winner here for Mansour Mesfer Al-Hajari, and just done enough to hold on in the dying strides of the post. This horse, who has been running on dirt of late, been putting forward some good runs, and notching up a couple of seconds, and now gets his head in front.
So well done to Thomas Lukacek and Mansour Mesfa Al-Hajri.
Race 3 is now official. First, number 10, Haddaj Dukan. Second, number 13, Khor Al-Adaid. Third, number 11, Al-Eshra. Fourth was number 9, Al-Malhufa. And fifth, number 2, Gadab. 10, 13, 11 and 9. The run time, 1:48.17. Race 3 official.
أيها السيدات والسادة، انطلق الشوط الثالث من أول أيام سباق سيدي سمو الأمير، شوط الخيل العربية الأصيلة في مسافة الميل، تكافؤ من 85 وأقل. ينطلق 16 من الجهات التي تتنافس على جائزة وقدرها $30,000 أمريكي. شوف الانطلاقة والمركز الأول أشاهدها مع شعار السادة مربط إنجاز بنت الفعل، مربط إنجاز المعتصم البلوشي على المركز الأول وعلى الصدارة. المركز الثاني العشرة السادة مربط زاخر بدفاع قوي مع مارك ليرنر. ثالثا شعار السيد أسامة عمر الدفع، يبدو لنا تشانس ديسوليل فعلا في ثالث المراكز. المركز الرابع السيد حسن بن علي المطوي مع لوليتا ديفانشير في المركز الرابع، يتقدم ويغير مركزه إلى المركز الثالث. شوف التحركات من الجهة الخارجية، الشعار الذهبي يبدو لنا الخطاب أو هداجة خان منصور بن مسفر الشهواني في تقدم على المركز الثالث حاليا. المشهد يتغير نوعا ما، شوف التغير الآن والتغيير مع لوليتا ديفانشير، حسن بن علي المطوي وراشد الصعاق في المركز الأول وفي الصدارة. التحركات من العشرة في وسط الجد في وضع جميل فعلا. العشرة الجهة الخارجية وشاهد جيبي كبير مع فارفال أو الخيالي هو هاري بنتلي، خليفة بن شعيل الكواري في تحركات قوية. خور العديد الآن من وسط الجد لعيسى بن محمد السليطي، وأشاهد السيد أسامة عمر الدفع. المحاولة القوية مع تشانسن دوسوليل. الصدارة والمركز الأول تنتقل للجواد هداجة خان للسيد منصور ابراهيم او منصور مسفر الشهواني على الصداره وعلى المركز الاول. المحاوله القويه الان الملهوفه لاشعاع خليفه بن شعيل الكواري. الصداره مع هداجة خان، الملهوفه من وسط الجاد. العشره ايضا والتحركات مع العشره. هداجة خان بمحاوله قويه. خور العديد من الجهه الخارجيه. هداجة خان وخور العديد. هداجة خان وخور العديد. ايها السيدات والساده،
والفريق السابع عشر أعزائي الجمهور والحضور الكريم من بطولة السابق الدروس، ومحمد كمان سعيد الخيارين الهاجري وأمير الشجاعة ومحمد أحمد سعد المهندي. أمير الشجاعة من الجهة الخارجية والفارس محمد المهندي. والدروز من الجهة الداخلية. والجهات جاهزة. انطلاقة جميلة وقوية، الدروز من الجهة الداخلية بانطلاقة جميلة وقوية ومحاولات للحاق من أمير الشجاعة. أمير الشجاعة ومحمد من المحاولة للحاق، ولكن الدروز تعطى الدروز، ومحمد كمعان سعيد الخيارين الهجري بفارق وتأهل قوي إلى المرحلة القادمة. الدروز انتظار انطلاقة الفريق الثامن عشر، ناحس وخفوقي وعبد الله راشد محسن لدغم، ومناحس محمد غالب محمد الدوسري. والجيات جاهزة. انطلاقة جميلة وقوية لخفوق، محاولات للحاق من مناحس من الجهة الخارجية، ولكن خفوق في صدارة وعبد الله راشد محسن لدعم، ومحاولات لمناحس من الجهة الخارجية، ولكن خفوق في انطلاقة جميلة وقوية. خفوق عبد الله راشد محسن لدغم ومحاولة لمناحس، ولكن خفوق إلى المرحلة القادمة.
So we come to the presentation for our third race of the evening, the purebred Arabian Abdullah. So our congratulations to all of the connections of our winner, and what a thrilling finish it was, with horse number 10, Hadaj Dukan, coming out on top.
انتظار انطلاقة الفريق التاسع عشر، برقة والفلاحي. برقة وخالد عبد العزيز أحمد الكواري، والفلاحي وعلي حمد علي العذبي. والجهات جاهزة. بطولة انطلاقة جميلة لبرقة من الجهة الداخلية، والفارس خالد عبد العزيز أحمد الكواري. محاولات للفلاحي وعلي حمد علي العذبي من الجهة الخارجية، ولكن برقة بشكل جميل، برقة بصدارة، برقة والفارس خالد عبد العزيز أحمد الكواري. محاولات للفلاحي، ولكن برقة إلى المرحلة القادمة. انتظار الفريق العشرون، صالح المري وآد ومواش ناصر مسفر حمد الشهواني. الإمام من الجهة الخارجية الشهواني. حاول التقدم، ولكن مواش إلى المرحلة القادمة. بانتظار انطلاقة الفريق 21 خباب وسندان الميدان. خباب ومعيوف هاشم معيوف الشمري، وسندان الميدان فيصل محمد فيصل النعيمي. انطلاقة جميلة وقوية للجواد خباب بفارق الطولين، محاولات للحاق من الجواد سندان الميدان، ولكن خباب بانطلاقة جميلة وقوية. خباب ومعيوف هاشم معيوف الشمري بفارق، محاولات للحاق من الجواد سندان الميدان، ولكن خباب إلى المرحلة القادمة. انتظار انطلاقة الفريق 22 فراس وظفيرة. فراس وثلاب علي ثلاب الهدري، وظفيرة وعلي سعيد مهنا الدوسري. انتظار انطلاقة الفريق 22. انطلاقة جميلة وقوية لفراس وثلاب علي ثلاب الهجري من الجهة الخارجية. ظفيرة في محاولة للحاق، ولكن الصدارة مع ثلاب، وتخطف الصدارة ظفيرة، وعلي سعيد مهنا الدوسري يخطف الصدارة. محاولات للحاق من فراس، ولكن ظفيرة والأمتار الأخيرة إلى المرحلة القادمة، وعلي سعيد مهنا الدوسري. بانتظار انطلاقة الفريق 23 أكحل وعميد بروك. عبد الله حزام محمد المري ومشعل عبد اللطيف، وانطلاقة جميلة وقوية. أكحل من الجهة الخارجية وعميد بروق من الجهة الداخلية. عميد بروق وأكحل، أكحل وعميد بروق في الصدارة، تخطف من أكحل في وضع اليد. محاولات لعميد بروق من الجهة الداخلية ومشعل عبد اللطيف خلف، ولكن أكحل وعبد الله حزام محمد المري. أكحل هنا الحكام، نحتاج إلى الحكام محاذاة. انتظار الانطلاقة الأخيرة في المرحلة الأولى. شاهدنا المرحلة 23 بين عميد بروق وأكحل، والنتيجة عند الحكام. السمول وديزارت برنس الهنا الفريق 24. انطلاقة جميلة لديز برنس الهنا من الجهة الداخلية، وعبد الله عما خمر العنزي، ومحاولات القادمة.
So we move on then to our next race. Post time for this race is 5:10 local time, 5:10, so in about 13 minutes time. 2,000 meters is the distance for this thoroughbred handicap. It's a class 4 for horses rated 0 to 85 and 3-year-olds rated below 105. So we'll start on your screen now with number 1, third order for Al-Mutasem Al-Balushi in Jar stud colours. And a little disappointing last time when ridden by Harry Bentley and quite well fancied, but if reverting to previous form, particularly form from a little while back on the turf, then third order would have a little bit of a chance here.
There is Jean-Pierre Guillenbert and Carlo Fiocchi and Pier Antonio Convertino, who ride both number 5 and number 9 respectively. Number 2 then, the horse in shot now, is Jaoud, who'll be ridden by Olivier Pellier, looking for a double, of course, after his success in our second race. Alban Emir, the trainer, in the colours of Kwan, and a horse who yet to win here in Qatar, but has been stringing together some decent enough efforts of late.
Let's have a look at number 3, More Than a Dream, a colt by Halling. Jean-Baptiste Hamel is in the plate for Hamed Ahmed Al-Malki Al-Jahani. Been ridden by Mark Lerner the last 3 times, this colt. And today, a significant step up in distance, and he's got quite a stout pedigree as well. That might just suit.
Horse number 4 could be in with a real good chance here, a horse called Musical Terms, who plenty of our European visitors will be familiar with. The horse who used to be with William Haggis in the UK, now trained by Jassim Ghazali, will be ridden by a former Qatari champion jockey in Harry Bentley, a horse who made an excellent start to proceedings here in Qatar with a win last time out on the dirt, and is stepping up in trip here. That could be the only question mark, but if he sees that out well, he'll be in with an excellent chance.
Number 5, the grey here is Mind of Madness, a 6-year-old. Carlo Fiocchi takes the ride. A little bit disappointing the last couple of times, but again, another significant step up in distance.
Horse number 6 then is Shabar for Stefan Lajard and Zuhair Mohsen Zuhair Marki, a horse who has been a little bit disappointing on 2 occasions, most recently this season. However, does have some form over this course and distance earlier last year, so that could bring about a slight improvement over this trip.
And number 7 there is Shakespeare. Martin Harley is not here this evening. So jockey change here, Shakespeare. Gerald Lavranche takes the ride on Shakespeare, and it could be a decent ride as well. Winner of a 0 to 80 last time, slightly up in class, slightly up in distance. And pedigree suggests that it might just be a little beyond him. From stall 5, though, he's well drawn.
Number 8 is Hakim for Badia Al-Balushi. Rashid Al-Mari takes the mount, and a horse who's stepping notably up in trip, having run, I should say, over the 1,200 metres last time. He tackles 2,000 metres, a big step up in trip, a gelding by Wootton Bassett.
Useful stallion. Number 9 is Shadow Game for Ahmed Kavesi and Pier Antonio Convertino. Best of the efforts are on turf, and that's what you can cling to, really. A little disappointing on dirt either side of that reasonable 4th, albeit down in grade 2 starts ago.
As the runners head out onto the track then, the next we will see is horse number 10, could be for Ibrahim Al-Malki. Eduardo Pedrosa takes them out. Horse who's been stringing together some good placed efforts of late, and should give his running again here today.
And the next horse we can take a look at is the filly de Riga, Medician filly. And she'll be ridden by Salim Golem today. I've been running in and around this level and have been acquitting herself okay, but she probably needs a little bit more.
Horse number 13, Succeed and Excel for Mohamed Hussein Afroz, for Thomas Lukacek, who's looking for a double here on the night.
14, those bright pink silks, Thorndike. Much better run last time. Again, in common with another horse by Bohemian Bounty in this race, you wonder whether 2,000 metres is absolutely ideal.
JP Guillenbert in the saddle for number 15, Rich History, who could have a chance here. A winner last time on the dirt over slightly shorter than this trip, and that was a winning handicap debut that day. Pedigree-wise, Baidu Bawi should stay the 2,000 metres, and he could be a player here, number 15, Rich History.
Yeah, I think he's very interesting back on turf, still unexposed, and he'd be the one I'd be most interested in. We're having a look now at 16. Fale Guggenheim looking for a double here. And he's riding Ali Zoom for Demi Mountain, who'll be represented in the Emir's Trophy at the weekend. Pretty decent run on dirt last time. Rising class, slight rising class, shouldn't be too much of a barrier. Be interesting to see whether he adapts back to the turf this evening. So another full field. 16 go to post. We got number 12 being walked to post, and number 5, jockey has just hopped off right in front of the grandstand here. Carlo Fiocchi's jumped off, Mind of Madness. And 12 is being walked to post, De Barn, Marvin Swerland. So it might just be a few minutes here. It's a reasonable looking field, a pretty competitive field at any rate for this thoroughbred handicap. And the man who might well be setting some sort of record for amount of horses called in one session is Mark Johnson. And we can head up and join him now.
Thanks, Nick. Just to confirm the changes in this race, the reserves are not needed, so we're scratching the 17 and 18. Reminder here that number 7, Shakespeare's now ridden by Gerald Avranches. And we have 2 overweights. The 10 could be plus half a kilo, and the 12, Durban, plus 1.5 kilos. And please note that the rider of the 8 claims his full allowance. Start for this race, 2,000 metres. Once again, down the home straight with that comparatively short run to the first turn. And there is number 7, Shakespeare, who's 1 out of 1 here in Qatar, having won a 1,200 metre race on the dirt on his debut. He's going up markedly in distance. Indeed, he's never run anything like this distance before. 1,400 is the most he's ever raced, and he's going right up to 2,000 today. So some 600 metres further than he's ever raced before during his career, and that career saw him trained in England by Ed de Giles. So 1 or 2 of these have been dismounted down at the start. Rich History has been dismounted by Jean-Pierre Guillenbert as we take a look at Shadow Game. And now in the foreground, Third Order. Carlo Fiocchi now arriving at the start to be reunited hopefully with Mind of Madness, who is actually a listed winner in this race. You've got to go back quite some time during Mind of Madness' career for that listed win, but did win a listed race at York in England over just 1,000 metres earlier on in his career. He has run 21 times so far here since moving to Qatar and has yet to win locally. Coming out of stall number 10, Mind of Madness, who did his winning when trained by David Brown in the UK. They're about to load the gate. There's number 4, that's Musical Terms. The runner here for Jazim Ghazali and Harry Bentley. Won over the 1,700 on the dirt last time out. Used to run in the purple with the gold braids, scarlet sleeves and the black velvet cap of Her Majesty the Queen in the UK. was trained by William Haggis over there. Was a winner on the all-weather at Chelmsford and on turf at Ripon. And this is his third run since moving here to Qatar, and his first try at this kind of distance. So the stalls team now moving the horses into line. They're the vivid blue silks of Succeed and Excel, with Thomas Lukasek looking for back-to-back wins. Succeed and Excel, 7 wins from 61 career starts. He's been racing in Saudi Arabia for some of his career. Biggest win was in the very nice name Cup here back in January of last year. Just about to go forward now is Durban, another winner on the dirt last time out. Goes into gate 4, followed in by Shakespeare into gate 5. We're down now to the last trio to move into line. Last one's moving in. They're in the gate. And they're off with a journey of 2,000 metres ahead of them. Stumbling coming out of the gate was Mind of Madness, who has been taken back. Doriga at the moment is the back marker, and flashing speed to the inside, Succeed and Excel, and he's going to try and head them all off. On the outside, Shabar. Shabar will now come and lead as they pass the wire. Succeed and Excel's racing in second. Hakim is keen, and he's right up there as well, but will be brutally wide as they go around the turn. Followed on the inside by Shadow Game, who's racing in 4th position. On the inside, Shakespeare is in 5th. Third Order is racing in 6th. They go inside the final 1,400 at the moment. The back marker is Doriga, also towards the rear of the field as they head down the back. Towards the inside, Rich History. Another one towards the rear of the field is Mind of Madness, had that stumbling beginning. And Ali Zoom is another one who's got plenty more in front than behind. Shabar and Stefan Lajad out in front to Hakim. Towards the outside, who is racing in second. Succeed and Excel is in third. Shadow Game races in 4th position. Shakespeare on the inside in 5th. Third Order is in 6th. Jouad on the outside is in 7th. In 8th is Musical Terms. In 9th, Thorndike towards the outside. Deban on the inside is next. They're then being followed by Could Be as they spin the turn. They're going on now inside the final 600. And still the leader is Shabar. Shabar now by a length and a half. The rail, Succeed and Excel. It's Succeed and Excel who now has the lead to Jouad, who is now in second. On the outside, Ali Zoom is staying on. Rich History also bounding into it. More Than a Dream is picking up late. The complexion changes. Rich History now has the lead. Rich History has the win. Rich History over Ali Zoom, and then More Than a Dream, who stayed towards the outside. From a long way back was Mind of Madness, and between those was Musical Terms. Unofficial winner, first number 15, Rich History. Trained by Hamad Al-Jahani, ridden by J.P. Guillaumbert. Unofficial winner, the 15, Rich History. Let's take a look at the slow-mo as they run to the line. This is a race which suggests they went pretty quick early, because most of the horses who got involved were in the last third of the field at halfway. Rich History came from a long way back and beats Ali Zoom into second. Could well be number 3, More Than a Dream, who has finished in third. But this might well be a race in which the pace imploded. And Rich History, a son of Dubawi, has won for the second time in his career, having broken his maiden last time out in a 1,700-metre race on the dirt. Stepped up in grade today. And this well-bred horse, a half-brother to Free Eagle, winner of the Grade 1 Prince of Wales Stakes at Royal Ascot, has now landed his second career success in an unofficial run time of 2:05.73.
Well, that was a thrilling success for Rich History. And JP Guillaumbert, the winning jockey, is delighted, but breathing a hefty sigh of relief by the looks of it. It was an excellent performance and needed that strong gallop to run at. And we're going to have a word with the winning rider as well, just when he dismounts. Winning trainer here, Hamad Ahmed Al-Malki Al-Jahani, who has had a 1-2, more than a dream in second place. And both stable companions, as is tradition in the winner's enclosure, are here at Al Rayyan. And this is an emerging force here, this stable in Doha. And I'm going to run round and have a quick word with the winning rider. Well done, JP. You were confident going into this race, but you needed that strong gallop to run at by the looks of it.
I did, yeah. I wasn't confident after 100 yards. You know, we didn't jump the best, and then you kind of put your luck in the lap of the gods kind of thing. Luckily, they've gone flat out, and they're stopping, and all we're doing is running at them quick.
Quality of the racing will improve over the next couple of days, but that was a competitive enough race for the grade, and he looks like the sort of horse who's got a bit of a future.
Yeah, I mean, he's a lovely horse to sit on. He's very well balanced. If anything, you'd almost say he's probably too big a horse, and not going to say too nice a stamp of a horse, but you know, a big solid horse for a tight track like this. But you know, being as well balanced as he is, he seems to handle the bends quite well.
And the stable have had a 1-2 and are going places.
They're going well, yeah.
Yeah, certainly are. JP, well done.
Thank you.
Race 4's now official. First, number 15, Rich History. Second, number 16, Ali Zoom. Third was number 3, More Than a Dream. The fourth horse was 4, Musical Terms. And in fifth, number 5, Mind of Madness. 15, 16, 3 and 4 in a run time of 2:05.73. The fourth is official.
درف أيها السيدات والسادة متابعينا مشاهدينا الكرام انطلاقة الشوط الرابع. شوط الخيل المهجنة الأصيلة في مسافة الميل ونصف الميل. ينطلق 16 من الجهاد المهجنة الأصيلة تتنافس على جائزة وقدرها $30,000 أمريكي. شوف الانطلاقة والمركز الأول والتحركات مع شهبار. علي بن ثامر المحشادي ستيف الأجاج على المركز الأول وعلى الصدارة. ثانيا أشاهد حكيم لراشد بن محمد العذبة مع راشد المري من الجهة الخارجية حكيم. المركز الثالث شعار المهندس ضابي راشد الأرضي المري وسكسيد الأكسل. رابعا عندنا ألي زوم أو رقم 9 أشاهد شادو جيم المهندس حسن عادل عبد الملك على المركز الرابع. خامسا شعار استاد مربط إنجاز في تقدم الآن مع الثيرد أوردر مع الخيال المعتصم البلوشي. المركز الخامس رقم 7 شيكسبير خليفة بن شعيل الكواري اللي تم تغيير خياله إلى جيرالد فرانش. الجهة الخارجية شهد شعار استاد أم قرن مع جواد وتحركات مع أوليفيه بليه بتدريب ألبان ديميول. عودة للصدارة وعودة إلى المركز الأول. شهبار لا يزال على الصدارة وعلى المركز الأول لعلي بن ثامر المحشادي. بثامر لا يزال متصدر السباق، متصدر المشهد بثامر. المحاولة مع حكيم من الجهة الخارجية في تقدم قوي مع راشد محمد العذبة. ثالثا سكسيد أنكسل مع ضافي المري. المركز الرابع شهن شادو جيم حسن العدل الملك بيير كوبرتينو. التحركات مع المركز الخامس رقم 7 شكسبير خليفة بن إشعيل الكواري. عودة للصدارة وعودة للمركز الأول. بثامر لا يزال على الصدارة، بثامر لا يزال متصدر الشوط الرابع من أول أيام سباق سيدي سمو الأمير. شهبار لا يزال على المركز الأول وعلى الصدارة بتدريب زهير محسن. الخط المستقيم الآن باتجاه خط النهاية. شوف التحركات والمركز الأول تنتقل الآن إلى سكسيد أنكسل. المحاولات من الجهة الداخلية مع شكسبير الآن، ولكن سكسيد أنكسل على الصدارة وعلى المركز الأول. التحركات مع ريتش هيستوري قادم الآن ريتش هيستوري. حمد لجاني والتحركات أيضا مع الشادو جيم. علي زوم من الجهة الخارجية. ريتش هيستوري على المركز الأول. حمد لجاني ريتش هيستوري إلى المركز الأول إلى الشوط الرابع. أيها السيدات والسادة ريتش هيستوري.
So race 4 was the Thoroughbred Handicap, and we are delighted to welcome to the presentation the chairman of the International Federation of Horse Racing Authorities, Mr. Louis Romanet. Mr. Romanet, good to have you with us here in Doha once again. And we are delighted to congratulate the rider, first of all, of rich history. It was a terrific ride as well, leading home a 1-2 for the stable, Jean-Pierre Guillaumbert. And this horse, Rich History, owned and trained by Hamed Ahmed Al-Malki Al-Jahani. And receiving the owner's trophy, Mr. Mohammed Khalifa. Congratulations all round. And gentlemen, if we could invite you all up onto the presentation podium. And Mr. Romanet now presenting a photograph that will sit extremely well on the mantelpiece of the winning owner trainer, because it features both his winner and his runner-up in shot there. Congratulations to all concerned with Rich History, the winner of race 4 on day 1 of His Highness the Emir's Sword Festival.
And then her fake boobs were fine. Oh, yeah. Are you
So we move on to our next race, which is race number 5 this evening. And another excellent field assembled for a thoroughbred handicap. Full fields this evening. A lot of runners, very competitive action on this first day of His Highness the Emir's Sword Festival. Action hots up tomorrow night, and then again, of course, on Saturday afternoon for the running of the $1 million Emir's Trophy, presented by Longines, and the $1 million Emir's Sword, sponsored by Total. And we extend our grateful thanks to all our sponsors here over the course of this terrific 3-day festival. As we move on to race 5 and runners in the paddock, Gina Harding alongside me, and jockey's about to walk into the parade ring here. Norfolk Stakes winner for Al Shakab Racing. Salim going to 11 over this 1,200 metres, but he does have the assistance of the man who knows this track possibly better than anybody else, Harry Bentley.
So the jockeys just making their way into the paddock now. Horse number 6 is the horse in shot now, Top Face, who will be ridden by Thomas Lukáček, looking for a double on the night. And a horse who's finished placed on all 4 starts since the beginning of this season, back in November. And another who is guaranteed to figure here and put his best foot forward.
Number 7 now is Al Gomri for Hadi Nasser, Rashid Al Ramzani, Mohammed Khalifa Al Attaya, and Vaclav Janacek, who was narrowly outpointed in a race earlier today in the silts. Now, this horse has run okay on dirt the last couple of times, but he was running last time off a 7-month absence, so he's entitled to move forward for that run and back on turf as well.
Now our next horse is horse number 8, Trading Profit. Stefan Lajaj takes the ride for Zuhair Mohsen Zuhair Maki, a horse who was down the field last time, albeit on the dirt surface, switches back to the turf, back to 1,200 metres, and does need to find a little bit more than what we've been seeing from this horse of late.
Let's take a look at number 9. This is a mare by Sir Percy, Little Miss Blakeney. From a good family, Fale Bouganem takes the ride. Disappointing on dirt in a good race last time. Prior to that one, a very similar race to this, but over 1,400, but that was back in May. So that might have just been a pipe opener on the dirt last time. If so, she's not without a small chance of getting in the frame.
Horse number 10 then, the striking grey, is New Pearl, colt by acclamation. And he's a veteran now, an 8-year-old, but had some good form in the past. He's been absent a while, though. Last time we saw this horse on the track was March 2016, so we have to take it that he's fit and ready to go today.
That is 10. Take a look at some of the others. Again, we're full field here. 11 is Rock Up by Khalif. Been running on the dirt. Been a little bit disappointing the last couple of times. He's got a little bit to prove back on turf, and he's got stall 13 to contend with as well.
So the bell has gone. The jockeys will be getting the leg up on their respective mounts. But horse number 12 is Sarken, who's a 7-year-old, has been stringing together some good efforts on the dirt of late. Jean-Baptiste Amel in the plate tonight in the colours of Injazstad.
13, when we get a look at him, is Wayward Hoof, a colt by Equiano for Stefano Ibido and Abdullah Hadi Mana Al-Hajri. Gerald Avranche takes the rest of reverse.
Having finished second on the dirt last time, that was a return to form. Lines up for Deborah Mountain, who of course will be represented in the Emir's Trophy on Saturday, the big race by Kelindo, and Carlo Fiocchi takes the ride.
15 is Broadway Icon. And 16 is Lions Park. And there is Lions Park. Mohamed Hussein Afroz and Eddie Pedrosa. 8-year-old now, was pretty good horse. He's not quite as good as he was, and he will be needing a little bit of inspiration if he's going to add a 5th career success this evening. So another big field going to post then for this 5th race, a thoroughbred handicap into class 3. It's for horses rated 0 to 90, and for 3-year-olds rated 84 to 104. And it's a pretty good, strong, representative field for the grade as well, as you'd expect on this day. There is Eddie Pedrosa aboard Lions Park. He will be the last of the runners to head to post. And we will be back with you after the race for all the news and reaction, but let's hand it up to the commentary box and get Mark's thoughts.
Thanks very much indeed, Nick. Just confirming the changes here. The also eligibles are not needed in this race, so scratch the 17 and 18. Confirming the rider change on the 2, Hillside Dream. The rider now Jean-Pierre Guillaumbert. And we have a couple of pieces of overweight. Number 15, Broadway Icon, plus 2 kilos. And number 16, Lions Park, plus 1 kilo. There at the start was Catch a Wave, and that is Al Gomri, one of the most prolific winners in the field. 6 times career winner. 3 of those wins have come here at Al Rayyan as they begin to arrive at the 1200 metre start. So a sprint here. They start in the back straight. Salim Golem is aboard Beitha Alga, who won not only the Group 2 Norfolk Stakes at Royal Ascot, but also won the listed Woodcote Stakes at Epsom. But he's yet to win in 14 starts since he moved to this part of the world. He's coming off a 6th in the Al Afi, which is a cup run over just 1100 metres on the dirt. And his number 2, Hillside Dream, one of 3 fillies or mares in the field. 3 times winner in Qatar on the turf. She's won once over course and distance, and the other 2 wins have been over 1400. It's arguable she might just be a little bit better over 1400. They have put the blinkers on her today to just try and give her a little bit more speed now that she drops back to the 1200 metre distance. The only grey in the field is New Pearl. Mark Lerner will be in the saddle, breaking from hole 14, which would be an inconvenience in a big field of sprinters. Now they're beginning to move into line. So we take a look at Stéphane Lejade, who is aboard Trading Profit. Will be coming out of stall number 4. Trading Profit, 4 wins from 31 career starts. Previously trained in the UK by Andrew Balding, now trained by Zuhair Marki. So the runners are moving into line. Lions Park goes in. Will be followed in by Sarken into stall number 9. Sarken looking for a 7th career success. 5 of his 6 wins have come here at Al Rayyan. Next up will be Top Face, and towards the outside goes Palmetto Dunes, the American-bred Palmetto Dunes. Little Miss Blakeney goes in. Al Gomri slots into stall number 7. So there are now 4 of them left out of line. Trading Profit goes forward, but he's got 4 more behind him. The blue silks of Broadway Icon, the white and green stars of Isgawa. Theo Bachelot still looking for his first winner of this 3-day His Highness the Emir Sword Festival. The last of them moving into line. For race 5, the thoroughbred sprint handicap in the gate. Isgawa moves a little in the gate, and they're off. Very slow to begin was Trading Profit, who trails the tails early. Lions Park was away alertly, will try and clear and go across towards the inside rail. Al Gomri is flashing speed, so too is Catch a Wave. Rock Up is towards the outside, another one who is right up there, and Hillside Dream from her wide post of 16 is also right on the bunny early as they blitz through the first 400 metres. It is Rock Up who just has the lead. Hillside Dream towards the outside, on the inside Top Face, and those are the first 3. A break then of a length and a half back to Catch a Wave, who races in 4th and gets a good trail into the race. Lions Park is racing in 5th position. Al Gomri is in 6th as they now make the turn in. To the inside is Wayward Hoof. racing alongside Algomri now. Next is Gizgawa, then Bathar Algar to the inside, Broadway Icon. They're already coming down inside the final 200. Hillside Dream wanders to the inside, Top Face. Down the outside is Gawa, and between horses, Broadway Icon is Gawa. Geared down on the line to win cozily for Theo Bachelot. Isgawa wins, Broadway Icon stayed on in second, and in the last few metres they pulled a little clear of the wandering Hillside Dream et al. Unofficial winner, number 5, is Gawa. Beats number 15, Broadway Icon. In a moment we'll see the replay to sort out the minor places. A 7th Qatar win for Isgawa, Theo Bachelot's first win of the festival. Second, number 15, Broadway Icon. It will be the 4, Catch a Wave, who just held third. And number 2, Hillside Dream, has run huge from her wide post to finish in 4th. 5:15, 4 and 2 unofficially in 1:11.91 seconds.
And there is number 5, Isgawa, our unofficial winner of this 5th race of the evening, heading back after a cosy success. Theo Bachelot oozing confidence in the closing stages of the race, and looked over to his rival, number 15, Broadway Icon, who was back in second, as if to say that was easy for Isgawa, who's a multiple winner here in Qatar, as Mark mentioned, and had some good form coming into this race, having won on the dirt last time. And she's put her best foot forward here again, this 6-year-old mare by Majestic Warrior, to win for Ibrahim Al-Malki, our successful trainer here of race 5, as they make their way back into the winner's enclosure. Theo Bachelot, who has been creating such a good impression here in Qatar this season. And another win to add to his impressive tally.
Those mares climbing up the weights. One on dirt off 75, then one off 85. First run of this season, and it's one off 89 today. So she's improving hand over fist. And it'll be interesting to see what Theo says when he hops off. He's been doing extremely well here in Doha, earning plaudits from all the major trainers of purebred Arabians and thoroughbreds. 5th in the French Jockeys Championship last year, behind the record-breaking and setting Christophe Soumillon. And that was quite cosy in the end for this mare, Isgawa. And Gina is intrepidly approaching. And just grab a quick word with Theo.
Theo?
He's,
Theo, congratulations. That looked an easy success in the end.
Thank you very much. I like this horse. I'm behind leader, and after I lose a place because it's a fast race and fast pace. And she changed the speed very good, and she have a second speed for the finish. I win very, very easy. I'm happy for the trainer and owner.
How much has she improved from her run last time on dirt?
I'm really sorry, I don't understand.
She's improving, Philip.
Yes, she don't run very too much, sorry, on the first part of the year, but now she have a good form, and maybe she continue.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Get some water actually.
Results now official for race 5. First, number 5, Isgawa. Second, number 15, Broadway Icon. Third, number 4, Catch a Wave. Fourth, number 2, Hillside Dream. The fifth horse was 13, Wayward Hoof. 5:15, 4 and 2 in a run time of 1:11.91 seconds. Race 5's official.
إذا أيها السيدات والسادة متابعينا ومشاهدينا الكرام، ينطلق شوط السرعة الآن، الشوط الخامس، شوط الخيل المهجنة الأصيلة، التصنيف من 70 إلى 90، ينطلق 16 من الجادة السريعة فعلا. شوف الانطلاقة والمركز الأول. التحركات من الجهة الخارجية يشاهدها مع كاتشا ويب بمحاولة قوية، إنما روكاب لأبناء عبد الله بن محمد آل الشيخ الكواري يخطف الصدارة الآن. هل سايد دريم على المركز الثاني لشاهين بن خالد الغانم على مراكز. المركز الثالث رقم 6 توب فيس محمد خليفة السويدي مع توماس لوكاسك. المركز الرابع شعار السيد حسن عبد الملك كاتشا ويب بمحاولة قوية على رابع المراكز. المركز الأول لا يزال مع رقم 6 الجواد توب فيس لمحمد خليفة السويدي على الصدارة وعلى المركز الأول الآن. التحركات من وسط الجاد أشاهدها مع الجواد اللي هو لايونز بارك، مربط العز، الخط المستقيم الآن باتجاه خط النهاية. كاتشا ويب يتحرك الآن من الجهة الخارجية، أحد الجهات المرشحة لكن الصدارة والمركز الأول. توب فيس على المركز الأول وعلى الصدارة. هلسا دريم بمحاولة قوية على المركز الثاني. هلسا دريم كاتشا ويب الآن وشعار الشيخ فيصل بن حمد الثاني على التحركات الآن من الجهة الخارجية. رقم 5 إزغوى الآن إزغوى إلى المركز الأول. الشيخ فيصل بن حمد الثاني.
حمد
We come to the presentation for race 5, the thoroughbred handicap, and our winner was number 5 is Gawa, and on the stage Abdullah Al-Khawaisi, the racing manager, and Sheikh Faisal. Our winning jockey as well is Theo Bachelot. He's accepted his prize already. So we're delighted to welcome onto the stage our winning trainer, Ibrahim Al-Malki. This is a filly I think we'll be seeing plenty more of in the winner's enclosure, an improving filly. And our congratulations go to the winning owner, Sheikh Faisal bin Hamed bin Jassim Al Thani. So we extend our congratulations to all of the winning connections of number 5, Izgawa.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. We have news of a reserve who has drawn in to the up-and-coming 6th race, our thoroughbred handicap over 1600. Please note that with the non-runner number 8, horse 17, Inland Sea, has drawn into the field and will race. The 17, Inland Sea, has drawn in and will race. Make the rider Olivier Pellier. Olivier Pellier will now ride the 17 Inland Sea, confirming the 18 Mohit is scratched. Scratch 8 and 18, the 17 has drawn in the rider Pellier. We also have another rider change on the 5 Generalship. Make the rider Jean-Baptiste Hamel. Jean-Baptiste Hamel will ride the 5 Generalship. Overweights on the 15 Jewel House plus 1 kilo. On the 16, Sunly Pride, plus 1 kilo, and on the 17, Inland Sea, plus 4.5 kilos. There are no further changes.
Coming into the paddock for our next race, which is race number 6 of this 8-race program here at Al Rayyan this evening. It's another thoroughbred handicap, and we continue at class 3 level. So horses rated 0 to 95, but 3-year-olds rated 92 to 112 can enter this as well. And again, it's another big field. The races have filled up really well this evening. And we've had a good spread of results as well. And the field will be headed by Bluebeard. Be the first one we'll be able to look at in the paddock. The sheepskin noseband there you can see as the runners enter to your right. And you can pick them up on the big screen as well. And the first horse we'll look at, Bluebeard, is now united with Gérard Lavranche, which is a positive jockey switch from an inexperienced rider last time. And is down a little bit in grade as well. Comes from a fine family, the Juddmonte Farms family. Is related to some very good horses, like Camacho, showcasing. And here he is, number 1, Bluebeard.
The next horse we can see on the screen then is number 3, Copley's Walk. He'll be ridden by Mark Lerner here for Mohammed Hussein Afros. A horse who's put in some good efforts of late. Back in November, was a winner on the 2nd of November before going on to finish 3rd over 1,200 metres last time. So a step up in trip here today, 1,600 metres the distance for today's race.
Next one in the paddock is the Chestnut, 4 white socks. That's number 4, Fine Prince by Strategic Prince. Al-Motsem Al-Balushi takes the ride. Hasn't been in great form this season. This is a slight drop in class since running a long way behind the very useful The Blue Eye last time.
Now the next horse is number 5, Generalship, who runs in the colours of Injar Stud. Jockey change here, Jean-Baptiste Hamel taking over from Martin Harley, as noted in your race card. And he's a colt who's strung together some decent enough efforts recently. A good 4th last time in the beginning of February. And he's certainly entitled to have a good chance here for trainer Jassim Ghazali.
6, Thomas Lukacek, the jockey, looking to complete a double here on the evening. He rides Al Rayyan, appropriately named, in the colours of Saeed bin Mubarak, Saeed Al-Jafali Al-Naimi, and has been aboard the last twice when the horse has run fairly well. Running tonight off a mark of 92. Has been beaten off that mark the last twice he's run off it.
Number 7 is Beach Samba for Mohamed Kabesi and Pier Antonio Convertino, a horse who finished 2nd on the dirt last time. That was over a slightly shorter trip, 1,200 metres, but he does have form over longer, having finished 2nd earlier in the year over 1,600 metres. So should be right there in the mix, number 7, Beach Samba.
Number 8, Shaddad, represents pretty powerful connections. Wasn't a bad horse in France either, but thus far hasn't really cut the mustard in this country, and indeed will not be doing so this evening either. Number 9, we move on to Ardsan Air, Vaclav Janacek for Hadi Nasser Rashid Al Ramzani. Just needs to find more form. Reasonable effort here 2 starts ago. That was over 1850. Will the drop back to 1600 be in his favour? Recent evidence suggests it probably won't.
So jockeys receiving their instructions from the trainers here in the paddock. The next horse we can see looks really well. Good shine on his coat here. It's the mount of JP Guillenberg, who's looking for a double after the success of Rich History earlier on. It's number 10, Cloudberry, lining up for Jassim Ghazali again. Mr. Shael bin Khalifa Al Khawari, the owner. A horse who had a good record when trained in Britain. Yet to put his best foot forward here in Qatar, but on old form certainly could be competitive if he can find that form in today's race.
Gino, number 11. Gelding by Holy Roman Emperor. Stefan Lajaj gets a good tune out of this horse. Ran quite respectably last time, over 1200. I think back to 1600 will suit. This was the last winning distance. Been running really well of late, pretty consistently too.
Horse number 12, the next in shot will be Perfect Storm, who can be a bit in and out form-wise. Salim Ghulam takes the ride for Ibrahim Al-Malki, winner of our last race, and looking for a quick-fire double with Perfect Storm, number 12.
Number 13, the chestnut there is by the mighty Galileo. This is Crescent for Ahmed Kabesi, owner Mohammed Kazim Al-Ansari, and jockey Fale Bouganem looking for another winner this evening. Hasn't run too well the last twice, and he really needs to find some of his old form, some of his back form. It hasn't been apparent for some considerable time.
Well, number 14 is the mount of Theo Bachelot, who won our last race. He's looking for a double here on the evening. Jockey who's been doing really well this season here in Qatar. He rides number 14, War Order, here for Stefano Ibido, a horse who's been putting together some good efforts, a consistent horse, and could be right there in the mix again today.
15, it's a tall, rangy horse, Jewel House, colt by Dubawi. Fairly lightly raced and unexposed for Britain's leading trainer, John Gosden, and makes his Qatari debut. If he's fit for this, and given his connections, given how well their horses are running, he should be, then he's quite an interesting import. Eddie Pedrosa takes the ride. He'll come from stall 6.
And completing the lineup, well, we've got 2 more to mention. Number 16 first is Sunly Pride for Carlo Fiocchi and Deborah Mountain, a horse who was a little bit below par last time, and we haven't seen the horse since March. So looks fit and well here in the paddock, though, and we've got to take it on trust that he's ready to go first time up. But a horse that's run well, fresh in the past.
And Inland Sea gets a run because of the defection of Shaddad. Same ownership as well, significantly. Perhaps Stefano Ibido is the trainer of Inland Sea for Sheikh Mohammed bin Khalifa Al Thani. Didn't finish last time, and the reason for that was that he clipped heels and tipped over, so hardly his fault. And on previous form, he would have some sort of a chance here. He is a reserve, Inland Sea. He gets in, and there is his rider, as you can see. Olivier Pellier there in the white cap, and the first colours of Sheikh Mohammed bin Khalifa Al Thani sported by Theo Bachelot, who rides number 14, War Order, and there he is, mounting War Order. And the one that we didn't see, Gina, was number 2, Barishul Abbey, who ran in the Qatar Derby last time and was biting off more than he could chew behind McMahon. But this is a much more realistic assignment for him this evening, and he is in the colours of Khalifa Al Khawari. So, those are the runners. Again, it's a full field of 16 with one of the reserves getting in, as Mark told you, in the lead up to the race. And as darkness falls and the floodlights bathe Al Rayyan, make it look very picturesque on this Thursday evening, we'll head back to the commentary box.
Thanks very much indeed, Nick. Runners, they're making their way across towards the 1600-metre starting point for this thoroughbred handicap class 3 for older horses rated up to 95 and for 3-year-olds up to 112. And the last one to leave the paddock will be Inland Sea, son of the late lamented Scat Daddy, and Olivier Pellier looking for his second win of the evening. Well, the guys gave us a comprehensive look through the form, and This looks a really competitive race. I thought this is one of the most open-looking handicaps of the evening. Quite classy too. One or two of these who have brought some very, very solid form to this particular party. It includes the top weight, Bluebeard for Zahir Maki, Gerald Avron-Chabord, twice a winner already this season. Both those victories coming here in November. Half-brother to a very good horse called Showcasing, and dropping back into handicap company today, having run in His Highness the Emir Shalfa last time. So once again, they'll be starting on the chute on the far left-hand side of the enclosures, where often the best place to be drawn is more towards the centre of the gate. You have to use quite a lot of horse up to get a position on the inside, with that dogleg turn taken after just 200 metres or so. If you're not showing plenty of early speed, you can just get slightly trapped. And the horses drawn very wide can also have a very tough trip early. So often horses drawn in the centre of the gate tend to have a very good record over this distance of ground as they make their short journey along the chute once again back towards the starting point. And a good example there of the rail, which is being positioned a little out on the round course, of course, to save the racing surface for Saturday. Running in lane 2 here, which means the rail is out 5 metres from the inside. Last runners beginning to arrive at the start with the maroon headgear, Perfect Storm with Selim Golem, followed by the same owner's Jewel House, the maroon cap for Eddie Pedrosa. Nick mentioned Jewel House being an interesting candidate here because Jewel House is far less exposed than most of these. Several of these are running into the 70s now, a number of runs they've had, but Jewel House has only had 6 runs so far, making his Qatari debut. His one and only win in 6 starts came over 1400 at Newmarket when he was trained by John Gosden. He ran in one handicap in the UK, just the one handicap, and that was a bit disappointing. He was 8th of 9 in a race at Ascot, a race of 3-year-olds over 1400. And he's coming here off that 9-month break. Pedigree-wise, he's quite intriguing because his dam is a half to the Great Powers Court. So there's quite a lot to like about his breeding as well. He's a son of Dubawi. And now all the runners have arrived at the starting point. Dubawi, of course, already a sire of a winner on this evening's card. He was the sire responsible for Rich History, who took our 2,000-metre Thoroughbred handicap as race 4. They're at the post. There's number 14, that is War Order, trained by Stefano Abido, ridden by double-seeking Theo Bachelot. His 2 career wins in 17 starts have come here, including a course and distance maiden and then a 1,400-metre success. He's coming here off a 4th over course and distance in the very nice name Cup, won by Barwad. And of course, Barwad is going to be a major player in His Highness the Emir's trophy here on Saturday. So we might just get a little bit of a galloping clue to the chances of Barwad, should number 14, War Order, a son of the brilliant War Front, be a horse who plays a hand in this race, and he should. He's badly drawn, 16, but he's certainly got the form and indeed the weight and the rider on his back to give him a chance here. And as we were saying earlier on, is a very, very open race indeed. Just about upon post time. Won't be too long now before they begin the load. And there's the reserve who's drawn in, number 17, Inland Sea, drawn in the main body of the field. Inland Sea, a son of Scat Daddy, you might recognise his breeding. He just happens to be a full brother to the Group 1 Prix Mornay and Group 2 Norfolk Stakes winner, No Nay Never, who's trained by Wesley Ward. Number 17, Inland Sea, looking for a fourth career success. His most recent win came here over course and distance in a handicap in April of last year. Now they'll loan the gate. Gino goes forward, goes into gate number 12, sorry, gate 5, with Stefan Lejad. Just backing away is the 9, Ardzener, Vaclav Janacek, beaten in a photo finish earlier on in the evening. Going into stall 8 on Ardzener, and Ardzener doesn't want to cooperate at the moment, just backing away. A dual winner here. He has the cheek pieces off today. That's an equipment move by Connections. He's running cheek pieces last couple of starts. No headgear on today. He's now into stall number 8. Slotting into gate 6 goes Jewel House, the Qatari debutant, Blue Beard. Steps up next, followed by the Orange Silks of Al Rayyan, with Thomas Lukasek looking for a second win on the card. Moving into gate 13, Beach Samba. The reserve, Inland Sea, with Olivier Pellier, goes into stall number 4. The stall that he inherited with the scratch of the 8 horse. Still waiting on the likes of Crescent to go in. We'll be due into stall number 11. Gate 9 is yet to be occupied by Perfect Storm. Into 10 goes Sunly Pride, first run for 11 months. Last one moving forward will be Crescent. They're in the gate. And they're off. 1,600 metres ahead of them, just squeezed up at the start, was Cloudberry, and he's trapped out wide as they go towards the dogleg turn. Gino is right up there. Inland Sea is also firing line, and so too towards the inside is Fine Prince, and against the inside rail Generalship as they go around the first turn. Jewel House is very keen as they head down the back. Crescent has dropped right out the back of the field and trails them by about 3 lengths. Last in the main body of the field is Al Rayyan. It's Inland Sea who's worked now to get the lead. On the outside, Jewel House is racing in second. In third is Fine Prince. Against the rail, Generalship is in fourth. Gino is racing in fifth. To the inside, Copley's Walk is in sixth. Making ground, Cloudberry, who was pinched out at the break, now into seventh, followed by Burishal Abbey as they go into the turn. War Order is next in the field, then Bluebeard, who's towards the inside of Suddenly Pride, and Beach Samba is next as they go into that far turn. Still Crescent is the back marker. Last but one is Al Rayyan as they now enter the final 500. And Pellier's in front on Inland Sea. Racing now in a very close second is Jewel House. Around the outside, Gino with the white cheek pieces now begins to strike as they now make the turn in. They've got 400 ahead of them. Inland Sea now has to dig against the inside rail. Gino is coming. So too Burishal Abbey between horses. On the outside, Al Rayyan from a long way back. So too Beach Samba. There's still 5 or 6 with a chance. Burishal Abbey now just claims the lead. Al Rayyan is out very, very wide. Bluebeard is lunging as well. Here's the line. Too close to call. Al Rayyan near side. Burishal Abbey was involved. Bluebeard also wanted a piece of it, and flying late on the rail was Odds and Air in a 4-way go to the end of race 6. That is a photo finish for all places, a photo for the win for race 6. Let's see if we can work it out here on the slow-mo. Burishal Abbey, the white colours, orange on the near side, Al Rayyan, between them Bluebeard, and right up against the inside rail, Odds and Air. Al Rayyan on the outside, my initial thought was he might just have got the head bob, and that will just about prove that that might be right, and it will be a double for Thomas Lukasek, who's already won one photo finish this evening. He might well have won another on this Son of Danehill dancer as we concentrate on Harry Bentley on Burishal Abbey. There against the rail flew Odds and Air with Vaclav Janacek, and he's just been beaten possibly again in a very close photo finish in what was a tremendous finish to race 6. We said it was one of the most competitive races of the evening.
تقدم قوي رقم 2 نشوفه مع هاري بنتلي بالقبعة الزرقاء. شوف التحركات من الجهة الخارجية أيضا مع كوتبيري مع جيبي جامبير. شعيل بن خليفة الكواري من الجهة الخارجية. لا تزال الصدارة مع الجبل 14 إنلاند والجواد بريتش الأبي.
So we come now to the presentation after our 6th race of 8 this evening at Al Rayyan, the Thoroughbred Handicap. And appropriately enough, the winner of this race was named Al Rayyan. I'm delighted to welcome back to the presentation podium Mr. Abdullah Khabesi, and he is going to present, first of all, the prize to the winning jockey, his 2nd appearance on the winner's presentation podium this evening, Thomas Lukasek. And Thomas won this race in the silks of Saeed bin Mubarak, Saeed Al-Jafali Al-Naimi. Let's first of all welcome the trainer, Hadi Nasser Rashid Al-Ramzani. And the largest piece of silverware on the presentation podium reserved for the winning owner. And an exciting weekend for this ownership because they will be represented by the Irish-trained Qatari hunter in the Emir's Trophy. Please welcome Mr. Saeed bin Mubarak Saeed Al-Jafali Al-Naimi, in whose famous orange and green silks Al Rayyan has won this evening. A proud moment for the whole family. And here comes the framed print of a thrilling 4-way finish, but no doubt that on the line, the nose in front was the chestnut nose of Al Rayyan, winner of our 6th race. On we go then to our seventh race, I should say, of 8 this evening. Post time here is 6:45 local time. It's a Class 2 for thoroughbreds, the best thoroughbred race of the evening. And it's a smaller but select field for this race, and they are headed by number 1, Astley Hall. Astley Hall, who was a winner over 1100 on dirt in December, is the class act in this race on recent evidence. A well-bred gelding by Dutch Art. Harry Bentley takes the ride for Jassim Ghazali. A good win ratio, this horse, 4 from 15, and has also been placed a further 5 times. He remains a horse who is quietly progressive, even though he's already a 5-year-old. That's Astley Hall, and you could realistically expect a very bold performance from him this evening.
As you could well from horse number 2, who lines up in the same colours for Jassim Ghazali, Black Beach, who's the next horse we'll see in shot, will be the ride of Gérald Avranches, a horse who's won over further than tonight's trip of 1,200 metres, a winner over 1,900 metres, but he does have form over this shorter trip, including last time when finishing 4th behind Is That Right. That came, though, at the beginning of February, so it comes in here in good form, fit, ready to go, and realistically with a good chance here. Number 2, Black Beach.
Next horse you'll see in the paddock, Tall Horse, number 4, tall imposing horse. First to post, Eddie Pedrosa takes the ride for Ibrahim Al. All his victories come on the dirt, and he's been doing well on that surface of late. Moot point as to whether he's quite as good on the other surface that he faces this evening, but he's certainly got the ability to figure if he does switch effectively.
Well, there is Thomas Lukacek, who's looking for a treble this evening, a hat-trick of wins after his 2 victories, including in our last race. But the next horse in shot is French Encore, horse number 5. He'll be ridden by Pier Antonio Convertino, a horse for Debbie Mountain. Of course, will be represented in the big race on Saturday by Kelindo. This is a horse who's won a couple of times over this 1,200-metre trip, but the last of those came April last year and was down the field on his last performance, which came in December here. So a little bit more to find in tonight's company.
And Gina mentioned Thomas Lukacek, the horse that is bidding to give Thomas his treble on the card is Poet's Song, number 6, a gelding by Poet's Voice. And he's a pretty talented animal, this. Consistent at this level, seems equally effective on dirt and turf, and is fairly adaptable distance-wise as well. This is 1,200 metres, 6 furlongs, but he can drop and win at shy of this distance. He's got a good bit of tactical speed. He comes from stall 1, so he'll be able to use that speed. Wouldn't be at all surprising if the jockey was to land his 3rd winner of the evening.
Well, from stall 1 to stall 8, drawn widest of our small field of 8 will be horse number 7, Primitorio, who hasn't been in the best form of late, a 7-year-old now. Last win came over 2 years ago now, but Marvin Suerland is the man tasked with trying to eke out a little bit more from this bay gelding, and Osama Amer Al-Dafea, the trainer.
And interesting, Marvin Suerland was aboard number 8 last time out, Receding Waves. So he'll know exactly what he's got to beat. Receding Waves was well behind today's rival, Poet's Song, and it's just a chance he could get a little bit closer. He has got some form on turf. He's bred for turf. And a jockey change, significant jockey change on Receding Waves, because Martin Harley is not here this evening, and that means that Jean-Pierre Guillaumbert, another man looking for his 2nd winner of the night, will be on board in the distinguishing white cap. And the horse that we didn't see a little earlier, because he's come in out of order, is number 3, China Club. Beautifully bred, a horse by Shamadal out of Twyla Tharp, from one of the Lloyd Webber's good families. And China Club is back on turf, which he'll enjoy, and he has Theo Bachelot to help him this evening. So that's a spin through this field of 8. Just a reminder of the significant change here, and that is that Jean-Pierre Guillaumbert takes over from Martin Harley on number 8, Receding Waves. Astley Hall in heat, and to call them down to post.
By Astley Hall, 4 times winner with Harry Bentley. Making their way across to the far side of the track. There in 1100, that was in the Al AFI Cup behind Poet Song. One thing to note about Receding Waves is so interesting to see how Jean-Pierre Guillaumbert gets on him today. It was noted that he was proving to be a little bit of a difficult ride during that last outing. They're getting back aboard. Theo Bachelot on China Club, bidding for a third win of this particular season. He's still quite some way shy of the start. He's still on the turn away from the enclosures, so he's still got the best part of 500 meters or so to go before he reaches the start. China Club has only won 2 of his 46 career starts, but as we mentioned, both those wins have come this season. Pedigree-wise, he's quite interesting. He's actually a half to that fantastic horse, the Fugue, who won the Irish Champion Stakes, the Prince of Wales's and the Yorkshire Oaks and the Nassau Stakes during her fantastic career. So possibly hasn't quite lived up to his prolific winning half-sister, but he's in pretty good form at the moment. At the moment, he's none too keen to make his way to the start, and Theo Bachelot is having to get a lead across towards the start, where the others are awaiting the arrival of China Club, who'll come out of stall 3. There's Harry Bentley on Astley Hall for Jazim Ghazali, bidding for a 5th career success. His 2 wins here have been on both surfaces, most recently 3 starts ago when he won a race called the Qrec Cup, when he beat My Sharona, who we'll be seeing a little bit later on during this fantastic weekend of racing. Eddie Pedrosa on First to Post, son of Acclamation, a 5 times winner. 4 wins in Qatar, all came in 2016, and they all came over this distance. He did manage 1 win on turf back in the UK. That was at Carlisle when he... China Club has now joined the others, so the starting team are moving them forward into line. Astley Hall was the first one in, first to post, second into the gate. French Encore moves forward, followed in by Poet Song, and then Receding Waves. 3 back. China Club slots in, goes into gate 3. Next up will be Primitorio, and the last to load will be Black Beach. Black Beach moves forward. Sprinters in the gate. Receding Waves has the rail and just has the lead. Astley Hall will keep the pace, pressure on, racing in second into the turn. Very keen, is first to post between horses. To the inside races Poet Song, French Encore will be 3 wide. To the inside Black Beach is next in the field, followed by Primitorio, and China Club is totally outrun at the back of the field, fully 10 lengths off the leader. The leader is Receding Waves. They make the turn with just over 400 to go. Receding Waves out in front. Catch me if you can, cries JP. He's clear by 2, giving chase. Poet Song flattening out in the drive. Astley Hall to the inside, trying to stay on is Black Beach. Down the wide outside, French Encore. They've got 100 to go. Receding Waves clinging to the rail, clinging to the lead. Receding Waves for a 6th career success. Poet Song got it very, very tight for second with Black Beach. That will be very close indeed, but the clear winner, who made every post a winning one, was the 8, Receding Waves. Unofficial winner of race 7, number 8, Receding Waves. Double on the card for Jean-Pierre Guillaumbert. A win for Mohamed Ibrahim Kassim, and a 6th career success for Receding Waves, unofficial winner of race 7. Here's the run to the line. No doubt about the winner. Let's see if we can sort out second. Far side Black Beach, near side Poet's Song. Might be Poet's Song near side. Very, very tight. No doubt about the fourth. That will be 5 French Encore.
Yeah, tight for the minor placings, but no doubting the winner, number 8, Receding Waves. We can see a beautiful slow-mo shot of this colt by Dick Turpin under the careful driving of JP Guillenbert. And a second winner on the night for him. There's his winning trainer, or the trainer who'd been thwarted, I should say, for third, but Mohamed Riaz Ibrahim Qasim, the winning trainer. But for those connections, of course, of the Blue Eye, who lines up in the Emir's Trophy on Saturday, Mr. Khalifa bin Shail Al Kuwari, and they visit the winners' enclosure for the first time at this 3-day fixture, and no doubt not for the last time. So as they make their way back into the winners' enclosure, the extra trip perhaps eking out that little bit more improvement here, stepping up to the 1,200 meters, and Receding Waves has put in a really taking performance here to take this our penultimate race and richest race for the thoroughbreds of the evening.
And in truth, really able to dominate the race throughout. Receding Waves using that superior innate speed, equipped with the headgear today, and under a muscular ride from Jean-Pierre Guillenbert, was able to hold on, and it was a very creditable run from Black Beach, who's coming in now to join horse in the same family ownership as is customary here in Doha. If connections are first and second, they both come into the winners' enclosure, hence Black Beach with Jassim Khazali in the winners' enclosure alongside Receding Waves, both of them owned by the Al Kuwari family, Khalifa bin Shail Al Kuwari. And a really good performance from the winner. As Mark was telling you, a 6th career success in Doha, and he hasn't had that much racing either for a 5-year-old. He's relatively low mileage. And we'll go in and grab a word with the winning rider as well, who's completing a double on the card. And this is a spare ride as well. Martin Harley had some travel problems that stopped him getting involved, but I'm going to have a quick word with the winning one that perhaps you had. I was being diplomatic and said he'd had a few travel difficulties.
Well, I was quite happy to. Thank you.
JP Guillenbert doing the steering aboard Receding Waves. And we are not finished with quite yet, because Gina has the winning owner with her. Not only the winning owner, Gina, but also the man who's owned the runner-up as well.
Yeah, we had 3 horses in the field, but it was Receding Waves who came out on top. Was that the horse you were expecting to win?
I expected to win. The horse he came behind, like, is that right? And Emir, my Sharona, he has plenty of quality, but I said to he had like a bit like the last 2 races he had a bit of problems, and he came back for that big race and the big festival.
And the meeting has started well for you. 1 winner so far. How many more potentially for the rest of the week?
Many more, not only plenty of more.
Fingers crossed. Good luck.
Thank you.
Let's take a look at the results now for race 7. First, number 8, Receding Waves. It was number 6, Poet's Song on the near side, who got up for second. Third, number 2, Black Beach. The 4th horse was 5, French Encore. And 5th, number 1, Astley Hall. 8, 6, 2 and 5. The run time, 1 minute 09.25 seconds. Race 7 now official.
انطلاقة جميلة وقوية لشوط السرعة الدرجة الثانية. ريسينج ويف في صدر الكواري، ثنائية الكواري. نشاهد عالية أنكر من الجو.
Come on to the richest winning convincingly for our winning owner, Mr. Cassin. $1,000 to the winner. And we have our first horses in the paddock, starting with horse number 1, Ali Al Magam, who's trained by Julian Smart, one of the leading trainers here in both the Arabian and the thoroughbred world. JP Guillenberg, looking for a treble on the night, will ride. And this is a horse who has a really good chance based on recent form.
Could be a signature evening for him. Harry Bentley seeking his first winner of the night on Al Marbouche, number 2, striking grey by Emir, owned by the Injar stud. Has been running respectably of late, but not really threatening to return to the sort of form that saw him win 6 races earlier in his career, and he is not getting any younger either.
So the remaining connections of our runners for this Al ZUBARA trophy making their way into the paddock, and that is horse number 3, Bayrik, who is trained by Hadi Nasser Rashid Al Ramzani, ridden by Thomas Lukasek, who's also looking for a 3rd winner on the night. And this horse stepping up in trip, having previously run over the 1,600 metres, 1,800 metres on the dirt last time, and potentially more needed over this slightly extended distance.
Another grey with the blinkers, that's number 4, Damas, for Alban de Mule, Amkan, and Jean-Baptiste Amel, a team that you can expect plenty of in the next couple of days, relatively quiet by their standards this evening. A horse who ran a good race in the Al Shakab on dirt last time, beaten 3.5 lengths. It wasn't a bad run at all, and for all that he is capable in his grade, probably 3rd or 4th is the best he could expect today.
Well, the Umquam team are also represented by horse number 5, Majid, for Alban Demir, and will be ridden by Olivier Pellier, who's looking for his 2nd winner of the night. And Majim expected to put his best foot forward here. He's got a really good strike rate of 11 wins from 25 starts, as you'll see in your race card. And he should be one of the leading contenders here on form, and looks a picture here in the paddock.
Yeah, Majid is the winner of 2.5 billion Qatari rials in his career, the 2nd winning most horse in this race. We'll have a look now at number 6, Mekbat, who will be ridden by Pier Antonio Convertino. Red and black silks of owner Mansour Al-Mansouri. He's a 10-year-old, the eldest in the field, and he has not won a race for 3 years.
So the bell has gone. The jockeys will get the leg up very shortly. But the next horse we'll look at is Reader, horse number 7 for Theo Bachelot, looking for another winner tonight. It's the 2nd of the runners in the field for Julian Smart. And it's a horse who has recent winning form. He landed a big race in Dubai last season. And he's been stringing together some good place efforts towards the end of last year and back in January.
Yeah, you just saw Julian Smart giving his instructions to Theo Bachelot and Jean-Pierre Guillenberg. There's his 2 runners, Reader and Ali Al Magam. Here's number 8, Sheris, for Ibrahim Al-Malki and Eddie Pedrosa. Ran in a fair race last time. Interesting to see whether this 2,000 metres can unlock his ability this evening. He should stay.
And there is Ibrahim Al-Malki waiting to give his instructions. Number 9 then, just getting the leg up on board, is Mark Lerner, who we saw there in shot. Mohammed Salim Ashur is the trainer. And Elwan has won over this course and distance, stepped up to a handicap last time, and will find the competition a little bit hotter than that race he contested on dirt last time.
It's an interesting race. There are 9 going to post for this Al ZUBARA trophy. 2,000 metres. The start is just away to your right, and then they'll run a couple of furlongs to the finish line and then do a complete circuit of the track here, the 2,000 metres. And really, we're looking at 2 horses who might somewhat pass their very, very best, but have been real money spinners in the sphere of Arabian racing. Reader and Majid, a lot of their form ties in with some of the big players in tomorrow's, or I should say in Saturday's, Emir's Silver Sword and Emir's Sword. So it'll be an interesting opening salvo, if you like, between the two big powerhouses. Sheikh Mohammed bin Khalifa Al Thani's Al Shahania Farms and Kwan, the blue and white, taking on the maroon and white in the feature race of the evening, the Al Zubara Trophy. I wonder how Mark Johnson sees this one shaking down. Who'll be striking in our last this evening, Mark?
Well, Majid is, I suppose, the horse, Nick, who very much sets the benchmark here, although ratings-wise, obviously, Reader, who could easily have been a player in one of the big races, the big group races later on in the weekend, but this has been Majid's race. He's won the race for the last 2 years. He's already an 11 times winner. 9 of his victories have been here in Qatar. He was ridden to victory in this race 12 months ago by Olivier Pellier. Gaetan Faucon had the ride back in 2016, but he's very much made this race his own. This has always been his target at this meeting. They haven't gone for anything else. This has always been his target, and therefore the son of the great Emir could well be giving Olivier Pellier a second win on the day. And those maroon and white spotted colours we're going to see a great deal of over the weekend. Yazid, of course, will be sporting them in the big one, the Group 1, His Highness the Emir Sword, on Saturday afternoon. Reader is very much the other horse that catches the attention. The son of the very, very fast Burning Sand. Often mention him when we're out here in Qatar. Burning Sand, one of the fastest Arabian horses in America a few years ago. And with Reader, he's got a horse who has already tasted Group 1 success, the success in the Kahela Classic at Meydan on the dirt just last spring, being his standout performance. But he's a horse who probably hasn't won the number of races he should have. He's only won 4 of his 21 career starts, but he's been placed another 10 times. Thing to watch out for with Reader was when he didn't run very well last time in the purebred Arabian Sword trial behind Yazid. He didn't break very well that day, and then once he got rolling, he took a very strong hold of the bit and he pulled extremely hard. He was, as American race viewers would say, he was very rank in the early stages. So just be interested to see what Theo Bachelot does with him, whether he wakes him up from the gate or whether he tries to just put him asleep at the back of the field. So Reader is very much one to keep an eye on in the early stages of this race. His breeding suggests he's a horse who likes to do everything on one lungful of air, as many of the progeny of Burning Sand tend to, but he's a very, very good Group 1 winning horse in his own right. So real classy renewal of the Al Zubara Trophy. We ought to mention another horse who's already won this race in the past. Another son of Burning Sand, Mekhabat, won this race back in 2015 when it was run in April. 6 times career winner and ridden by Pier Antonio Convertino. Will be breaking from post position 2. And no less than 4 of these ran in this race last year. Majid was the winner. Damas, his stablemate, finished 4th. Al Marbouche was 5th. And Ali Al Magam was 7th in the race 12 months ago. So they're now all down at the starting point. Won't be too long before they begin to load up. Hopefully no problems with the starting gate this time. Looked like the reason for that delay to our previous race looked like the actual mechanism didn't fire from the starter's rostrum, so the starter got down off his rostrum and did a lever start, a manual lever start, which is the lever on the side of the starting stalls. Doesn't happen very often, but still a very level break indeed to that sprint. What a very good performance by the front-running Receding Waves, getting back on course after a couple of below-par efforts. There is Ali Al-Magam, 7th in the race 12 months ago. He's won 2 of his 14 career starts. Both his wins have come on dirt here. He actually won the dirt version of this race in April of last year. And he's been placed in all 4 runs this season. But the problem is, all his form is on dirt. He's 0 for 7 running on the green stuff. That is the head of Shiris, and that is Eddie Pedrosa riding for Ibrahim Al-Malki. Shiris has won 2 of his 16 career starts. Last time out he was 7th in the 1600-metre purebred Arabian trial on trials day. He's been placed twice in 3 starts over this distance of ground, including when he was 4th in the 2016 local Arabian 4-year-old Qatar Derby. And talking of 4-year-olds, there's only the one 4-year-old in this race, and that's the bottom one, Elwan, who gets the 5-kilo weight break for being the youngest horse in the race. Elwan has won 1 of his 9 career starts. His win came 2 starts ago, and that was over course and distance in a local Arabian maiden. He's had 3 runs in Arabian handicaps, but yet to strike in that field. So the runners now beginning to load up. They put a blindfold on Elwan for stalls entry. The dual winner, Majid, one of the first real headline horses of the Emir Sword Festival to run here, bidding for his 3-peat for Khan, Alban de Meur and Olivier Pellier. The green and orange silks of Bayrick still out of line, so too Machabat, and also Damas, who has the white cap. Stall's team have got the first 4 installed. They're working at the moment on getting Elwan in. He's the one who's got a blindfold on, the only 4-year-old, and at the moment he's occupying the attention now of 4 of the gate crew. And at the moment he's just sitting down a little bit and not really helping Mark Lerner and the stalls team out. Just slightly out of that shot. As we pan left, you'll see Elwan. There is Elwan. And he's not being terribly cooperative at the moment. Due into stall number 6. And every time they put the quoits behind him, the loops to try and push him forward, he tries to sit down. Now the starter himself has got involved and he nearly got him in. They got the nose of the horse in, but it wasn't quite enough, and he's backed away and they've taken the blindfold off. Well, they did. It's back on now. So we've got 4 in, 4 waiting out the back, and Elwan, who is in no hurry to help out. They're going to try again. We have a starter, an assistant, trainer, bulldozer. Now, they're going to try without the quoits now. They're going to just try and walk him forward, get a bit of pace up and try and get him in. Thankfully, the 4 horses who've already gone in are taking this slight delay really, really well. I know Julian Smart's probably a little bit worried because he's got the horses who are drawn on either side of Elwan. Ali Al-Magam in 5 and Rida in 7, but they're both taking this delay really well. Now they've unsaddled Elwan, and Elwan has been... We are waiting for an official announcement. But Elwan has been unsaddled. Number 9, Elwan, has been withdrawn. Number 9, Elwan, is a scratch at the gate. Last runners now moving into line. A field of 8 are in the gate. And they're off in the ZUBARA Trophy. ridden away from the stalls is Ali Al-Magam. Towards the outside, Bayrik is taking a very keen hold as they come up past the stands for the first time, and it is Ali Al-Magam who has cleared off and has claimed the early lead. Mekhabat racing in second, Damas the inside rail is in third, Shiris is in fourth under the wire. Bayrik towards the outside is racing in fifth position, and then Al Marbouche is next. And the two major players are locked together, side by side, joined at the hip. Majid and Rida observing the early play, and it is Ali Al-Magam who takes them into the back stretch. 1,300 to go, and Ali Al-Magam leads them as they go towards halfway in the Al-ZUBARA trophy, and is now clear by 2. Mekhabat towards the outside of Damas in a head bob for second and third. Shiris has already been ridden along in fourth position. Al Marbouche towards the inside now, just in fifth. Bayrik racing in sixth place, and still weighted with at the back of the field, Majid in the hands of a very cool Olivier Pellier, and Rida just being niggled along for the first time now by Theo Bachelot. Just over 800 to go in the Al-ZUBARA, and it is still Ali Al-Magam who takes the turn and has a lead of 2. Damas is pressing him, snapping away at his heels in second, and many of the others now are being rowed along, but Pellier took a pull as they left the back stretch, but he still has some 7 lengths to find and 500 metres to get the leader, who is Ali Al-Magam. Ali Al-Magam out in front. Damas is now into second. Al Marbouche will claim third. Shiris in fourth. Rida set down for the drive on the outside, and Majid stays to the inside and will try to thread the eye of the needle as they enter the final 200. It is Majid who surges. Rida digs in. Damas is between those two. Rida now has his blue headgear in front, and it will be Rida who takes the Al-ZUBARA trophy. Majid beaten this year, and back in third was Damas. An official winner of the 8th feature, number 7, Rida. Second, number 5, Majid. And third was number 4, Damas. An official result of the featured 8th, the Al-ZUBARA trophy. First, number 7, Rida, owned by His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Khalifa Al Thani, trained by Julian Smart, ridden by Theo Bachelot. Second, number 5, Majid. And third was number 4, Damas. An official run time, 2:15.77 seconds. To confirm, number 9, Elwan, was withdrawn, scratched at the gate. The horse refused to enter the starting stalls. Runs the line, Rida, punch of the air from Theo Bachelot, beating Majid, and Damas into second and third. It is a 5th career success for Rida, who now claims the Al-ZUBARA trophy alongside his Group 1 success in the Kahela Classic last spring.
Well, a really significant success for Rida. The blue and white silks of Sheikh Mohammed bin Khalifa Al Thani and the Al Shahaniya team getting the better of the 2-time winner of the race, Majid. You saw what that meant to Theo Bachelot, a punch of the air. He knows the significance of that, and could it be a taste of things to come over the next couple of days? The big battle between these two battalions will reach its height in the final race on Saturday afternoon, the Emir's Sword, when Ghazwan and Ibraz for this team take on Yazid for the Kwan team. Now this horse, Rida, seems to know when the purse money's big. Landed a huge prize in Dubai last March, and this prize today well worth winning, $150,000 US, and these connections take the lion's share of it, $85,500 US to the winning connections here. It's a 26th winner of the Qatari domestic season for trainer Julian Smart. Another success for Theo Bachelot, who's lying second in the Jockeys Championship and has been riding so well. It's his second winner of the evening, and it's an important strike in the feature race for the Al Shahania team. And in a few moments' time, Gina will be having a word with some of the winning Saturday. Absolute thriller in the Arabian racing. A wonderful race for the Qatar Derby, and again these connections came out involved in the finish. And Gina is ready now with Julian.
And Julian, this is, as Nick said, is a horse who's been very good to you. Another big pot landed.
Yeah, look, he was almost unlucky to win in Dubai, to be honest, because he wasn't really that quality down here. You know, he's not a bad horse, I'm not saying that, but look, he ran a blinder when he went to Dubai, and he's come back here and maybe expectations are a bit too high for him. He is a lovely, lovely horse. And, you know, we had, to be honest, we had high hopes today. I want to thank JP Guillenbert, did a superb job there. You know, we thought the more pace in the race, the better it would be for Redder if JP didn't actually steal the race on Ali Al Magan, which at one stage I actually thought he might do. But the faster the pace, the better it is. And purely off the race, the mile and a quarter when he was behind TM Thunderstruck of Khan's, we had to fancy him today. I mean, Majid's a super horse, and I know this is his race, but it's got to end somewhere, and I'm glad it was us that did it.
1-0 to you. Set the tone for the meeting ahead, you hope, I presume.
Yeah, yeah, it's not going to be easy, that's for sure. But like, I'm glad to get this one, you know, in, because I never win a race on Emir's Sword Weekend. You know that very well. So I hope this hasn't jinxed me now.
Good start, well done.
Thank you.
Interesting statistic is that Julian has saddled the winner of His Highness the Emir's Sword for the last 2 years, but he's gone over going into the last race of the meeting. So he's had a winner on day one today with number 7, Arida. Second was number 5, Majid. Third, number 4, Damas. Fourth was number 8, Shiris. The fifth horse was 2, Al Marbouche. 7, 5, 4 and 8, a run time of 2:15.77 seconds. The eighth and feature is now official.
انطلاقة موفقة لجائزة الزبارة في انطلاقة جميلة وقوية للجواد دماس، ومن وسط الجهات مخبط، ومن الجهة الخارجية عالي المقام يخطف الصدارة. عالي المقام ملك سمو الشيخ محمد بن خليفة بن حمد آل ثاني وجي بي جامبر في الوصافة مخبط ملك سيد منصور خليل مبارك المنصوري وبيير كونفرتينو. ومن الجهة الخارجية محاولات لبيرق ملك السيد مبارك بن سيد جفال النعيمي وتوماس لوكاس المنعطف الأول. وهناك في الترتيب الرابع الجواد شرس ملك السيد عبد اللطيف حسين زين العمادي وادواردو بيدروزا المنعطف الثاني. والصدارة جميلة وقوية وعالي المقام بشكل جميل وقوي وصدارة وترقب. هناك ترقب من قبل الجواد داماس في الترتيب الثاني وانتظار للرضا. والجواد المرشح مجيد في الجهة الخلفية في الترتيب السادس. نشاهد المربوش ملك مربط إنجاز وهاري بنتلي المنعطف ما قبل الأخير. وعالي المقام بأداء عالي ملك سمو الشيخ محمد بن خليفة بن حمد آل ثاني والفارس جي بي جامبر في الوصافة. الجواد داماس ملك السادة مقرن وجون باتي سهم اتجاها إلى المنعطف الأخير ونقطة 800 متر. والصدارة لا تزال مع عالي المقام. محاولات وإعازات مبكرة من عالي المقام والقادم داماس السادة مقرن وجون باتي سامل والمربوش من الجهة الخلفية. الشارس أيضا من وسط الجهاد رضا ملك سمو الشيخ محمد بن خليفة بن حمد آل ثاني والتيو باشلو الأمتار الأخيرة. ولكن عالي المقام لا يزال بالصدارة والقادم مجيد. محاولات لرضا من الجهة الخارجية. عالي المقام مجيد من وسط الجهاد. مجيد ملك السادة مقرن من وسط الجهاد وداماس أيضا ورضا الآن. رضا والأمتار الأخيرة على الموج الأزرق ملك سمو الشيخ محمد.
So we come to the presentation, ladies and gentlemen, for our final and most prestigious race of the first evening of His Highness the Emir's Sword Festival 2018. And joining Nasser Al-Kabi and Abdullah Kabesi on the stage, we're delighted to welcome Barbara de Miul, who is the Spain representative for the International Federation of Horse Racing Authorities. And we congratulate the winning rider, another success here at Al Rayyan for Theo Bachelot. And the winning trainer, a man who will have a big say in the biggest race of all this weekend, His Highness the Emir's Sword. More success for Julian Smart. And representing the winning owners, please welcome Abdullah Rahman Al Mansouri on behalf of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Khalifa Al Thani and his Al Shahaniya stud. And I'd invite Julian and Dean Levy and Theo and some of our younger racegoers as well up onto the stage to share the moment. Our thanks to Barbara de Miul for joining us for this final presentation. And the framed portrait of Raider, now the winner of nearly $2 3/4 million Qatari Riyal. And that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes proceedings this evening here at Al Rayyan. Many congratulations to the connections of Raider, the winner of the Al ZUBARA Trophy.